only in theaters tomorrow.
More tensions between North and South Korea.
Trash carried by a North Korean balloon has fallen on the presidential compound in central Seoul once again. This second case has raised concerns about the vulnerability of key South Korean sites during potential North Korean aggression. The incident comes after the rival Koreas ramped up threats and rhetoric against each other over North Korea's claims that South Korea flew drones over its capital Pyongyang to scatter propaganda leaflets this month. North Korea has sent thousands of balloons carrying bags of rubbish like plastic and paper waste into South Korea since late May, in a resumption of a Cold War-style psychological campaign. I'm Karen Shamas.
Tesla posted a surprising $2 billion profit in the third quarter, with net income up more than 17%. The company had seen sales and profits decline in the first two quarters. News and analysis at townhall.com. The Federal Emergency Management Agency is taking heat for its diversity, equity, and inclusion policies amid the agency's ongoing hurricane response. Correspondent Bernie Bennett has the latest.
Many Americans assume FEMA is only focused on helping respond to disasters, but a closer look at FEMA's recent internal documents, spending, and public actions show that FEMA has broadened its focus to handling the flow of migrants into the U.S. and attempting to double down on DEI initiatives on gender, sexuality, and race. FEMA makes clear in its 2022 to 2026 strategic plan that equity, which includes racial identity, will be taken into consideration when distributing aid, highlighting that there should be, quote, equitable and fair distribution of assistance to all those affected, especially those disproportionately impacted. The especially signifies a belief in the DEI community that certain groups, including transgender people or minorities, suffer more from natural disasters. Bernie Bennett in Washington.
More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Thursday.
Yes, sir.
The week.
Yeah.
I don't know. At some points, it feels like it's zooming by, and then moments like this, I'm like, it's only Thursday. I feel like we've had a month in the last 2 days.
Well, and that's what it is. It feels like we've had, okay, for example, yesterday I went to court to take care of the citation that I received last week. But it was last week, and that feels like an entire lifetime ago.
It is.
It was a whole flood ago. It was so many people's lives and vehicles and washing down the road, and it seems so trivial in comparison,
Sure.
to everything else that everybody else is dealing with. I had to go deal with a traffic ticket, but
well, at least maybe you got sympathy because of the past events here. We're not hammering people today. Pay your fine, see you later.
And it was sort of like a, maybe give me a little leeway on this one, but also, and this is, I guess, maybe a example of white privilege in action, but I haven't had a ticket in a really long time. So, I didn't know the process of it. I wasn't sure if I was going to actually have to go to a court. I was telling my loved ones beforehand, I might go to jail after this. And the best way I
He left here with like 6 pair of underwear on.
I did.
Very weird.
Yeah. I was supposed planning ahead. I left here. I was letting my friends and loved ones know. First of all, I love them, and because you never know. Secondly, if I need you might be my phone call. So I texted my kid's mom this. I was arrested. I am currently being held at the Chavez County Detention Center. They deloused me and threw me in a pod. I'm in a gang already. They took everything. I don't know when I'll see the light of day again. I've forgotten the smell of freedom.
I'm
institutionalized, man. We didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on us. But it was a small fine, and I got to go to court in February. But that being said, buckle your seatbelts and get your cars registered, kids.
He was doing laundry. Now they got him working the film projector.
Yeah.
But he's got to watch out for the for those unsavory types there. They like to get him in the
Ooh, this is the best part.
Everything's Shawshank referenced, in case you haven't noticed. But happy Thursday as we continue through this. Actually, this hour we're going to play some. We're going to have some guests in really non-flood related stuff.
Yeah.
This was all stuff kind of planned pre-flood. So we're not going to talk all about flooding this morning here. We've got we got 2 guests. We got the folks from Roswell Rotary. Today is Polio Day. So that's one of the temp pole things that Rotary gets. So we're going to have Carl Shelton and Dr. Powell join us. They're Rotarians when they're not, respectively scouts and presidents of colleges. And so we'll talk about Rotary, talk Polio Day with them. We also have some of the Chavez County Extension board members that will be joining us there from the Extension office. And we'll talk with them as well here this hour, too. So, they gave me some details, and I was spending the last 30 minutes before the show looking for the email or wherever it was, and I could not find it, but I was like, so
I bet they've got the information.
I hope. We're in trouble if they don't. And then in the 8 o'clock hour, we're going to have Pastor Doug Austin join us from Country Club Road Church of Christ. They've got some flood relief going on. I believe they've got some trucks and some supplies that came in, and so they've got a distribution event that they've got going on. So Doug's going to join us and give us all the information about that. And then Crystal Noble will join us from the Humane Society at the 9 o'clock hour. So I'm sure they were greatly impacted by floods, and so we'll get an update from their status on what they're. I haven't seen too much on Facebook other than hey, watch out for the animals, things like that. So I'm not really sure what the facility looks like. I have not heard one way or the other. So I'm going to guess Crystal will give us those updates here.
I keep having those oh yeah moments, like oh yeah, I forgot to check in with the Humane Society. Oh yeah, I forgot. It just keeps happening over the course of the days.
So much, and
so if I haven't checked in with you yet, no, you're on my mind. I just haven't haven't gotten there yet.
Yeah, so we'll get some updates there as well. So we got a full slate for you. That and of course news is of the local and national variety and town halls and all that other good stuff.
Indeed.
So I think that'll cover it. I think so. Oh, of course, school is on remote learning. Kind of deal. It's closed today. Buses aren't running, but teachers will be checking in. They'll have their hours there where you can go and contact it, get assignments, whatever they got to do. Each school's doing their own little thing on that. But that's the rest of this week. They're going to be doing that here, and so hopefully we'll have more information. And Monday maybe they'll be back in buses and things. So
I know we want to make sure that this information gets disseminated, gets around to everybody that needs to. You don't have to call and text me. it was nonstop last night. I was getting nonstop robocalls and text because immediately after you get the text, then you get the robocall or vice versa.
Sure.
But it's like, I know.
Well, and I know from the other side why they do that. Because like anytime, like over the years, my wife, who is a teacher, tries to go out and contact, I will say 20% is a strong number of getting 20% of the class knowledge. So they really hit you with all the stuff, the text, the mobile, because they're like we're going to throw everything at the wall, and I think between one of these will sink in and get that information.
Because parents are like, well, we didn't hear about it.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I understand.
So
I'm just saying.
That is why they do it, and they will continue to do it that way, because they've heard dog ate my homework for a long, long time.
I read a story yesterday that the writer of the, I believe it was the author of The Grapes of Wrath, turned in his manuscript late because his dog ate his first copy of it. So
is that like legit?
Yeah, his dog literally ate the first copy of his manuscript. So
well,
that was probably crap anyway. So it's a good thing he had a chance to sit down and rewrite it.
Well, maybe you shouldn't write it on bacon flavored parchment paper.
Those grapes were tasty. I don't know about. Still no word on the wrath.
All right, it is 7:13. Let's get you up to date on the weather. Which warm one today? Warm. What's that? Oh, I thought you were going to say something.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Pretty warm again today, upper 80s to low 90s, and sunshine. High pressure is over the Four Corners. Overnight will be clear, our low in the low 50s and getting a little bit windy with a cold front moving through. We'll get a break on the hot temperatures on Friday. It looks like we'll stay in the mid 70s, windy and sunny. Upper 70s and sunny for Saturday. We're back in the 80s and sunny Sunday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently, hold on, where'd my weather go? I've had computer fighting all morning today, and the computer's been winning. But there we go. Currently 53 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 69%. Winds are out of the northwest at 5 miles per hour. 91 is our high today. I thought we're done with 90s. Apparently not. Today, sunny, 91 for a high. Winds will be out of the southwest, 5 to 10 miles per hour. 53 under clear skies for tonight for an overnight low. West winds breezy, 10 to 20. Tomorrow, it'll be about 20 degrees cooler, if you'll believe that. So we're going to go from 91 today to a high of 71 tomorrow under sunny skies. I guess those winds are blowing tonight will blow in this cold front, or cooler front maybe. Winds will be out of the north, 5 to 15 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, clear skies, overnight low 47 with northeast winds at around 5 miles per hour. Then looking at the weekend, sunny and 77 for your Saturday, north winds 5 to 10, and then back up into the upper 80s on Sunday, sunny and 87, and then, man, they even throw a 90 in on Monday of next week, so it warms back up. So we just have this little dip tomorrow and Saturday, and then it climbs back up Sunday, and looks like for at least through Tuesday of next week. Looks like we might drop down into the 70s again on Wednesday, but we'll see how that shapes up. All right, 7:15, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we will talk with, they're wearing different hats today, but folks that have been on the show quite a few times. We'll have Dr. Sean Powell and Carl Shelton, this time wearing Rotarian hats, Roswell Rotary hats. They'll join us on the other side. Don't go away.
Late in the Apostle Paul's life, he wrote the following: "I've fought the good fight, I've finished the race, I've kept the faith. Now there is in store for me the crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, will award to me on that day. And not only to me, but to all who have longed for his appearing." That is the definition of dying well. Paul had not always been a follower of Christ, but once he changed his life from persecutor to that of a man who followed Jesus to being fully dedicated, he was all in. He knew that he was forgiven, and he knew that he had lived a life of service to his Lord. He wasn't perfect, but he knew that Jesus was, and that Christ's saving grace was more than enough. You too can have that same confidence to die well. You can never earn it, but Jesus wants you to have his free gift of forgiveness. He wants all of us to be with him in heaven.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
It's October, and that means it's time to paint Roswell Honda pink. We partnered up with the Chaves County Cancer Fund to help raise much-needed money, and we are gearing up for another amazing year. Roswell Honda is giving away some great prizes, including 4 designer purses from Coach, Kate Spade, and Michael Kors. Pretty in pink, of course. Stop by for a free entry or 3 entries with a qualified test drive. And that's not all. With rates as low as 1.9% and over 100 quality pre-owned vehicles on the lot, there's never been a better time to get behind the wheel. Here's Joe Salzar to tell you all about it.
Don't let vehicle pricing rumors fool you. With Roswell Honda's market-based program tool, we are making it easier than ever to get the best deal in southeastern New Mexico. And with every vehicle sold in the month of October, we will donate $50 to the Chaves County Cancer Fund.
Join us Saturday, October 26th from 10 to 1 p.m. We will have a special performance by the Charlie's Angels. Bring cash to support the cause and purchase goods from our many vendors. Help us make it happen for the Chaves County Cancer Fund, and let's paint Roswell Honda pink.
Attention high school students and parents. Now is the time to make your plans to come visit the friendliest place on the High Plains, Eastern New Mexico University. ENMU is hosting our annual Open House Preview Day on Saturday, October 26. Come learn about scholarships, discover majors, talk with current students and faculty, and win some great prizes. Sign up today at www.enmu.edu/openhouse. Eastern New Mexico University, student success. That's what we're about.
There's nothing more magical than 80,000 cubic feet of hot air flying overhead, hearing the burners shoot propane and inflate the envelope of beautiful colors right before your eyes. Whether this is your family's lifelong tradition or you are new to Southeast New Mexico, make plans to join us for Balloons and Tunes at Eagle Draw Park at dawn on Saturday and Sunday morning, November 2nd and 3rd. Seeing the balloons is just the start, but join us to hear the tunes too. Artesia Chamber, Artesia Main Street, and Artesia Arts Council have partnered up to bring you a concert event Friday, November 1st that will surely get you in the mood for hot air balloons. Join us at the corner of 5th and Texas Street for Balloons, Bands, and Brews, where you'll enjoy food, New Mexico brews, and live music, including the Artesia High School Marching Band, playing along with our hot air balloon pilots. All events are weather permitting, and more information can be found at artesiachamber.com. Balloons and Tunes, November 2nd and 3rd in Artesia, New Mexico. Book hotels direct for the best rates. Ad paid for by Artesia Lodgers Tax.
Hi, Chef Anthony Noble here with the Valley Cafe at 801 West Brasher. We love serving you our delicious meals for lunch and dinner. The next time you're in on Monday or Tuesday, bring the family and take advantage of our kids' dinner special. With the purchase of an adult meal, you get a kids' meal for 20% off. That's right. Get the kids fed, save a little money, enjoy what I got cooking in the kitchen. Come visit us at 801 West Brasher in the Orange Building across from Church on the Move in Roswell. We have it all. Come taste and see.
Don't forget, you can also find the Valley Cafe on our website at toasttab.com/Valley Cafe. Also on DoorDash, Grubhub, and Uber Eats.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The catfish has over 27,000 taste buds. Do you think they prefer fried or blackened? Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 20 minutes after 7 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, today representing Roswell Rotary, of course, we have Dr. Sean Powell and Carl Shelton. By day, president of ENMU, and of course, scout executive here for scouting here at Conquistador Council as well. So that's their day job, but today, Rotarian hats. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, Mike.
Good morning. So if the voices sound familiar, you're like, that's how you know it. Right there. So. First off, yes, good morning and everything. I know I probably haven't talked to you guys much on air since post-flooding. Everything in your other world's pretty good. The college doing okay flood-wise?
College is open, and we have some water damage that has occurred. We've got appraisers coming out today.
Sure.
We have about 14 staff members and faculty who've lost their homes. We're not sure of the number of students.
Okay.
Most of the work is remote unless it's just hands-on things this week.
So getting through it and taking care of I'm sure there are probably arrangements being made for those employees that are displaced right now to get into resources and things like that too. So,
right.
How about on the scouting side? How things fare? I know a scout hut.
The Troop 2 scout hut right across from the senior center just leveled. Water came in the front door and took out the back wall and everything. Our service center did well. One of our staff members here locally, her house got completely flooded out, so she's displaced, and we were out there tearing up floorboards and taking out drywall just yesterday.
So getting it back to being placed.
Yep.
Yeah, so kind of like everybody else, cleaning up and trying to navigate as best we can.
Yep.
Here. So, but that being said, Rotarians, this is something we Rotary is a strong presence here in Roswell, and if you're not familiar, maybe we'll learn you here a little bit about Rotary, and of course, always looking for new folks to be a part of Rotary here. So let's start at the beginning. For folks that are not familiar, what is Roswell Rotary? What's I'm sure everybody's heard of it, but they may not be sure what Rotary actually does.
Well, first, Mike, thanks for letting us come on and talk about Rotary and our polo eradication efforts. Rotary is a professional service organization, civic organization, if you will, and there's 2 Rotary clubs here in Roswell. We have Pecos Valley and then the Roswell Rotary Club. Mm-hmm. And anyone who's interested can go online and find out information about either club or go to Facebook, and we would welcome any inquiries about membership or joining or just coming to visit to see what the clubs are about. Our club, the Roswell Rotary Club, does a number of service projects. I know that this past weekend we had folks out picking up some trash along the highway prior to the flooding, and then
that work probably had to get redone.
we'll probably have to reschedule that. Hadn't thought about that.
You might have to go back and check your work.
I have to go back and recheck the FOD. That's absolutely sure. And I think the other piece that we've been doing locally with our club is building ramps. There's a New Mexico ramp project that people can apply to. Individuals who have difficulty with mobility or can't get out of their homes.
We're not talking for Evel Knievel or skate parks or things like that. We're talking handicap accessible ramp. In case you were confused,
absolutely.
Like for Evel Knievel, what are we talking here?
Thank you for the clarification.
I mean, there may be some kids on bikes on those. That,
don't get me wrong, you might be, but that's for another time.
But we've built, I think, 9 ramps here in Roswell. If individuals are interested in having a ramp installed, they need to apply to the ramp project of New Mexico, and then what happens, they figure out which ones are going to get the resources.
Okay.
There's no cost to the individual. All labor, materials are provided through the ramp project, and then we go and assist.
Excellent.
They have plans that are designed for different ramps, and they're built by the Rotarians.
Yeah, so you actually have the engineering experts design the ramps and things, the people that actually know structurally how those things work, and so they're safe, sound, structured. You don't let the people that don't know, geometry very well get into those projects.
Right. Yeah, they don't give me a power hammer and say go for it. No, that's not the way it works.
But very cool. And of course, I also know this with Rotary. It's great, as a civic service group, but it's also a networking opportunity. If you're looking to meet let's just face it, it is kind of a who's who of Roswell.
It is. And you pointed out that we're wearing different hats today. And it's a lot of different hats in that room, from people who are politically connected, finance connected, business leaders, civic organizations, and then folks at every different level and walk of life that come together to make our community a better place to live.
And I think, if I remember right, which I kind of broke that rule starting the interview, is they kind of leave their work at the door and focus on Rotary at the time they have their Rotary meetings and things. And it's kind of a faux pas to talk work.
Well, we might violate that every now and then. But
it happens, but by and large, that's kind of a Rotarian staple.
It is, but you learn who people are and you make connections, and every week somebody comes in and speaks to the club, from the club or from the community, and shares stuff that's going on. Our city manager's coming today to give us an update on the current situation that we're all facing, but we've had countless groups that just help us become educated about what's happening in the city and how we might become involved both personally or with the organizations we're part of.
And also, too, time to time, celebrating the victories, too. I know sometimes your meetings, you'll have things from, students from NMMI that have gone and done some amazing things, or from Eastern New Mexico University doing some amazing things, or from our high schools or various other civic groups, too.
Yeah, and
so it's a little of everything.
And we have a solid scholarship committee. We recognize the Student of the Month every single month. We have them come join us at Rotary, certificates, scholarships. We're out there recognizing people for what they're doing in the community, and then recognizing when other people in our club have successes and sharing that together.
Yeah, so that's kind of what the spirit of it. It's a community-minded service/social organization here.
And beyond that, just like scouting, right? You might belong to a local troop. Well, we belong to a local club. There are 2 clubs in town. But this is a global organization with over 1 million members. In fact, that's part of why we're here today. I'll just transition to talk about the fact that
Carl's doing radio segue work.
As a global initiative, Rotary took on polio and eradicating polio worldwide, and we've been doing that for since the 70s, I believe. And I'm on the newer side. I wasn't here in the 70s figuring out what we were going to do that. But, we...
He's a future Rotarian.
As a future Rotarian. And it's something that today is World Polio Day. That's why we came out today. And it's It's an awareness
that awareness.
Thing. Yeah, and for us, it's mostly about awareness because the United States is very fortunate.
You take those polio vaccines as a child, and guess what? That seems what was a pandemic early in the 1900s and things is now pretty much non-existent here, and that's the reason why.
Right. And I think those efforts that Rotary has led, like Carl mentioned, they've been going on for quite a while, and it's led to pretty much the eradication of polio worldwide. I think right now there's two countries that have active cases, Afghanistan and Pakistan.
Sure. And those need to be nipped in the bud, because if it's in one spot, the potential's there, because as soon as the vaccinations let down or anything, guess what? It's going to spread.
Yeah, we haven't had wild polio in the U.S. Since the 90s. That means, you just get it because it comes through the water. But there are cases where travelers have come in and they've been identified with it, but they isolate it, they take care of it quickly.
Sure.
But yeah, we're down to 2 countries, but it only costs $3 to vaccinate a kid fully. And so we've got 39 different countries where vaccines are being given out. And that's a big part of what we're doing.
And I'm going to guess that without these efforts, they would have gone without.
They would have gone without. And these countries, they will come back. I mean, eventually, if we're not continuing to stay on top of it, all it takes is one traveler to bring it in.
It's kind of like transitioning with this flood stuff. If you don't get rid of that mold, it will come back. Same comparison here.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's why it's so important. So yes, even though you're like polio, who do you know who this got polio? Nobody. FDR. It's like short of that. You're like, yeah, but it's because of these efforts, and if we don't stay on top of it, then it may become a problem again. And so, like you said, we have these 2 last countries that there are known cases of it still. But like you said, we got to keep getting to because there's a lot of still third world countries that don't have access to, unless there's efforts like this going on, to keep getting vaccines. And because guess what? New people are coming on the earth, and we're going to have to vaccinate them too, or it opens us up again. So we can't stop the efforts.
Absolutely. And, so we're hoping on a day like today where it's awareness, we're hoping that people will give their time to and their voice to help make people aware that that's what's happening.
Absolutely.
There is a polio fund to help do that, and the Bill and Melinda Gates back that 2-to-1. So anybody who donates to that relief effort,
they'll double.
It triples what you gave.
Yeah.
So help a whole lot of kids get vaccines.
Absolutely, make them cut a bigger check. Just kidding, but yes, make them do it.
No.
I mean that in the lovingest possible
in the
way.
most loving.
Right.
But absolutely, and of course, you could probably go to the Rotarians' websites here and read some more about this, make those donations. So if you really want to kind of get the numbers and the stats and really see what we're talking about here, you can find all that there through the Rotarian website.
Absolutely.
Like but if you want to come learn more about Rotary, I guess you guys are meeting today. Maybe today's a good day to come pop in for a visit.
Right. We'll meet today at the Country Club. We meet every Thursday. We have a buffet lunch that's set up. It starts around 11.
Buffet.
Yeah, there you go.
Tell them you're Dr. Powell's guest.
There you go. Come on down. And we'll have lunch start about 11:30, and then the meeting will start around noon. Today we'll have 2 speakers. Andrea Stapp from our campus is going to talk about our agricultural programs, and then Chad Cole with the city is going to come and give us an update on flood recovery efforts. And that might lead to some actions from our local club to see what we can do to help, because we're always looking for projects.
Well, that's how these things happen. But, like you said, we have a lot of people in a room that have a lot of connections to other aspects, and then they learn information and said, we can fix that problem right here. We can nip it in the bud and bloop, 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 and let's make some phone calls.
Exactly.
And so we might see some of that come this afternoon. But like you said, if you're wanting to learn more about Rotary or just getting involved or, please come to the meeting and talk to some Rotarians. And they're a very welcoming group, and they'll love to have you learn more about them and learn about you as well, too.
Yeah, we would love that.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. What's a good website? Or I know Facebook. I know there's Roswell Rotary on Facebook. Is the other Rotary Club have a Facebook page as well, too?
Pecos Valley.
Pecos Valley Rotary. You can look that up on Facebook, too. That way you can... And usually I think it's a time thing, right? Depending on your schedule. We meet on a certain day. They meet on a certain day. Whatever one works best in your schedule.
They're Wednesday lunch and we're Thursday lunch.
There you go.
And we try to get people out that have a timeline where they got to get back to their office.
Well, like we said, these are people that have a busy schedule. And they need to be in and out. They don't... have the luxury of spending all afternoon.
A few of them do, that's for sure. Get there early, hang out all time.
Yeah, there are the pontificate. But come out, and of course, please, if you're looking for a civic group to get involved, I'd say yes. Please check into Rotary. There's so many, now we're looking at the world we're looking at right now with going on, and people feel the need to get involved, and I hope that bug stays long past the mud's cleaned up and we're back to normal again here. Because the more servers hearts we have in these in all of our organizations, the better community we're having.
Yeah, and there are a number of great service organizations in this community that people should look at. But we've been here for over 100 years, and Rotary has definitely figured out good ways to be effective and make it work. So.
And really impacting all corners of the globe.
Absolutely.
So, excellent. Well, thank you, gentlemen. I'm sure you probably got quite a bit of things to handle in your other worlds. So I'll let you do that.
Thank you.
And thank you for spending time with us here today. And I'm going to end with this because Dr. Powell will be happy I do this. Vote on Bond 3.
Vote yes.
Yes, vote yes on Bond 3. Yes. He has to say vote on it. I didn't say vote yes on Bond 3.
Well, thank you for letting us be here today.
Thank you, guys. We'll see you next time, okay? All right, it is 7:34. Let's pause for a quick commercial break, and then we'll talk with the Extension folks on the other side here. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters. We'll be back here in about 5 minutes.
Now, your Pecos Valley news update. I'm Jared Sorello. Roswell Mayor Tim Jennings confirming Wednesday a third death due to the flooding disaster. The individual's name has not been released. The mayor also said a donkey at the Spring River Zoo has died. More than 500 people had to be rescued when the Spring River overflowed its banks Saturday night from historic rains that broke rainfall records. New Mexico Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham also has declared Chavez County a disaster area, the state offering up an immediate $1 million in funding to help in the immediate relief efforts in and around Roswell. Authorities also ramped up patrols in Chavez County and Roswell after reports of looting. Captain Joe Smith of RPD told KRQE Television there had been a handful of reports of car break-ins and other property theft crimes. There were also reports of break-ins at city-owned facilities, including the IT shop and the parks office. The Roswell Police Building also was flooded with about 2 feet of water in the basement, and Captain Smith said the department has lost 9 patrol cars. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello.
At Artesia General Hospital, we know it's early, but schedule your mammogram today and save. Call 855-RAD-EXAM and save 10% off mammograms scheduled through October, Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and get a refreshing drink discount from Kith & Kin in Artesia or Blue House in Carlsbad. We use leading-edge, FDA-approved Genius 3D mammography technology to deliver more accurate results faster and with more comfort. Women over 40 do not need a referral for yearly screenings. Learn more at artesiageneral.com/mammogram.
Maybe your AC unit needs a little tender loving care. If you don't know where to turn, then you don't know Jack. Fergalicious. In fact, they're downright funky. Fergalicious. Let the boys at Fergie's Plumbing and Heating get your AC unit ice cold, just like some of my lady friends. Don't let any fool make you lose your cool. Fergie's Plumbing and Heating. If you don't know Fergie, then you don't know Jack. 632-2660. Fergalicious.
Pressure Services, LLC in Artesia, New Mexico has immediate openings for experienced vacuum truck, kill truck, and hydrovac operators. Operators must hold a Class A CDL, at least 2 years of experience, and all positions require a clean driving record and must be able to pass a DOT drug and alcohol screening. Pressure Services offers great pay with IRA benefits and employer contribution towards health benefits. Please apply in person at 2702 North Freeman in Artesia, New Mexico. Equal Opportunity Employer.
At Richland Motors, it's never been easier to sell or trade your current car, truck, or SUV for a newer model to hit the road in. Even if you don't purchase from Richland, they want to buy your vehicle for top dollar. But if you do buy from Richland, don't forget, they're the home of the powertrain warranty for life. That's a whole lot of confidence for you. See Richland for details. 2nd and Sycamore and 1309 Southeast Main.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Men are 6 times more likely to be struck by lightning than women. That's because men are 6 times more likely to wear a tinfoil hat in a thunderstorm. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 38 minutes after 7 o'clock here, and joining us in studio this morning, talking 4-H today. We actually are joined by the student leadership of the 4-H here in Chavez County. And let's go ahead and introduce our, and this is basically our student council, our student leaders that are, you guys make decisions for 4-H from the youth level, I guess you could say, all right?
Yes,
well,
sir.
good morning. Let's introduce, we're going to start way behind the computer. Introduce yourself.
Hi, I am Bailey Swinney. I serve as our treasurer on the council.
Okay.
So.
Excellent.
Hi, I'm Kaylee Scott. I serve as the council president.
Oh, so you're large and in charge. You're the
Yes.
you're the big person in charge. You're the one with the big gavel.
Yes.
Yes. And you get the big piece of chicken at that. So.
My name is Mackenzie Bays, and I serve for vice president of the council.
Excellent. And finally,
Hi, I'm Jesse Hale, and I serve as one of the recreation leaders for our council.
excellent. Very good. So kind of almost your whole e-board.
Almost.
Yeah, pretty much. And they know what that is because they practice parliamentary procedure and Robert's rules and all that kind of stuff. So you guys are pretty well versed in that stuff. Pretty good. So what because for folks that aren't familiar, within the 4-H, and right now, and this is what you guys are looking, this is open enrollment season. If you're looking to get into 4-H, this is kind of the sweet spot to kind of join because the way programs are set up, you're catching it right at a good time to get involved, right?
Yes, sir. So open enrollment opened October 1st.
Okay.
And we will go until March 31st. You are always welcome to join, but that's kind of our sweet spot for getting plugged into programs. We have over 270 different activities that kiddos ages 5 to 18 can join in on. So I would love for my friends up here to share a little bit about that.
Yeah, that's where I kind of want to know. It's like what, because obviously you're on the board here, so you kind of, but you got in through different clubs, maybe multiple ones. So I'm kind of curious, what was your passions getting into 4-H?
So what are your projects?
Mine is personally the livestock side of it,
Okay.
but I have done almost every project that there is. So,
Okay. So you're kind of a jack of all trades on all of
Yes,
these.
sir. But they help with life skills, so
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
mainly.
So what's your favorite? What's the ones you kind of got more excited for?
I loved the jewelry making and sewing when I was a kid, and then I really loved to show beef cattle and then pigs.
Okay. Based on your interests here, potential marketing opportunity.
Yes, sir.
Bling for cows. Cow bling.
I love it.
Or pig bling. Or goat bling. I don't care, but bling it up, maybe for the animals. Bedazzle them. For Miss President, what brought you to 4-H?
So I actually grew up in 4-H. My parents, my dad actually did 4-H, and he wanted to give us this opportunity, both me and my brother, and because he knew how beneficial it was for him.
Mm-hmm.
And so I started off in the Cloverbud side, and then
Which is kind of the entry level.
Yes, it's like
for
the
4-H.
babies
Yeah.
of 4-H.
Yeah.
And I experimented, and I loved to bake. I loved to do jewelry making. You know.
Don't mix those two. That could be a bad day.
Yes.
Trust me, those people put wedding rings and cakes. Oh, sorry.
And then I started getting introduced to livestock, and I started off showing rabbits, small things.
Okay.
And then I also, started showing pigs and
Okay, so
dairy
you started
heifers.
getting bigger as you got older.
Yes.
The animals got a little larger.
Well, with pigs, I kind of jumped in, and my brother showed a pig, and I absolutely fell in love with it. And that's what I've done every year from now on.
Pigs do have quite a bit of personality.
They do.
They have a mind of their own, but they have a personality. That's why you see all the kids trying to wrangle the pigs with the boards, and it not always goes the kids' way.
Yes.
Pigs are very ornery folks sometimes. But cool. So is that where your love fell, was with the pigs, or did it keep going to
It kept on going,
Yeah.
and I started dairy heifers like 5 years ago,
Okay.
and I've just loved that ever since. You know,
Okay.
it's just, you find kind of like a companionship with the
Okay.
animals and like a friendship, and you know,
And so
it just.
But you kind of had the unique way in where you didn't, because most people think of the livestock side first, which is very much part of 4-H, but that's only a sliver of what 4-H does. But you actually came in from the other side,
Yes.
from the home ec, baking, and then said, hey, these animal things kind of neat. I'd like to get involved. So you kind of went in the opposite of where probably most 4-Hers have probably found 4-H.
Yes.
So kind of a unique thing there. Well, cool. Very good. For you, how did 4-H become part of your life?
So I was actually considered, I guess you could say, born into 4-H.
Gotcha.
My uncle was still doing it. My mom and aunt did it.
Okay. So it's a family tradition.
It was a family.
Gotcha. So the baton was just your turn to
Yes.
catch the baton. Here.
So I started out with chickens and rabbits, something small.
Okay.
And then I worked more and more for inside, so I did baking and sewing.
Okay. So you start with animals and said, I'd like to cook things too, So.
And did everything that seemed interesting.
Sure.
I want to say about 5th grade, I started doing pigs.
Okay.
So that's what I do now.
All right. So you're capped at pigs. Do you have desire to do?
I want to do
heifers?
goats.
Okay. Man, I feel like we were talking about ornery pigs, but of all the animals, the ones that are going to give you the most fights, usually the goat, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they just straight up, if they don't want to do it, they ain't doing it. But I'm guessing, too, that's part of the challenge. Because I think if you crack that shell, then they probably are loyal to a fault, right?
Yes, it really is a part of the said challenge. I mean, it shows you a life skill on how
Sure.
to be patient, how to take it as it comes. And
You can get
just
an animal
work
to be
with
your
it.
friend, and
You sure
you're
can.
going a long way, because you got to earn respect, trust, a lot of stuff going on. They just don't hand that to you. So, which I imagine translates a lot in your other aspects
Yes,
of life. I'm
of
sure
course.
helps out in school and other activities you're into too, as well.
Most definitely.
Very good. All right, we say the best for last. Tell us what brought you to 4-H?
So I kind of also was born into 4-H.
Okay.
I guess you could say my whole family did it before me. So it's
Well,
kind
that's
of like,
not uncommon. If you grew up, your parents grew up 4-H more than likely because they got such a great value at it, and they're saying, guess what, my kids are going to be right here with it because of what I got. So that makes sense.
Yes, sir.
That's
So
proof's in the pudding on that one.
yeah, my family was like, kind of, you're just gonna do 4-H. So
Right,
we're gonna
it's
get
like,
started with
you don't
4-H.
get a choice. You're coming with
And,
us anyway.
So I kind of first started with inside projects too,
Okay.
indoor projects. I liked baking a lot. I still love baking, and I did a lot of arts and crafts.
Okay.
And I also first started with poultry, chickens.
Okay.
I loved showing chickens. I just really enjoyed it. It was one of my favorite things. And this year I moved on to market steers.
Okay.
And I love it even more.
Wow.
So much fun for me.
So
and
I'm curious. I mean, size-wise, you got to think maybe steer, but I've seen chickens. Which one's the nastier of the two, as far as like more upkeep?
Okay.
Is it chickens? I'm thinking it is. 'Cause,
disgusting.
yeah.
Chickens are
yeah,
disgusting.
I was kind of thinking. I was like, yeah, if you don't clean a chicken coop, it's pretty gamey.
Cattle are way easier to keep track of and clean up.
It's true, although the piles are bigger. Probably about twice the size of the chicken, depending on the time of day. But anyway, so let me ask you this: what's after? Like, now that you've been through 4-H, now you guys have really, now that you're kind of in the leadership side of things, you've kind of gone. So I'm just curious, with like your 4-H time now. I mean, you spend your time showing animals and stuff, but as leadership, what's kind of your role now through that? Obviously you meet, make decisions, but you kind of as on the board here, do you kind of serve? I imagine that's got to add a lot to your plate. I mean, does that you have to visit because it's pretty spread out. It's pretty extended here on the different 4-H different groups and things. like, do you eventually have to? All right, we got to hit all 200 and some of these at some point. I mean, is that kind of commitment for you guys right now, serving on the board here?
So we kind of discuss and make decisions amongst the council to present it to our clubs and whatnot. And we kind of make the agenda throughout the year. So, like, we just had a fall formal, and then we are the ones that set up for dances and whatnot, and community service projects. So we're like the head force of that.
So it's kind of like, each club does their own thing and has their own structure.
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
But you guys are like, okay, when we have the whole 4-H Chavez County family get together, we're the ones planning those events. We're the ones organizing.
Yes, sir.
Making sure we got the logistics.
Yeah, council is like the main source.
Got you.
Of it all.
Okay, so really, when it comes to that, that's kind of each group does their thing, and they have their own probably leadership and things like that. But when it comes to when we're doing everything as an entire 4-H family, we're the guys that kind of make those decisions.
I'm gonna brag on them because they won't brag on themselves.
Most people are leaders like this generally too.
It's a good quality to have.
Yes.
These ladies and their counterparts on the rest of the team, they come together at least once a month, more like twice a month, to make these decisions, but they're also serving. So we serve at, awards banquets, or they're doing their community service. We put together some stuff for some retirement homes here recently, but this is all just out of their free time and their heart.
Excellent.
They don't get a grade out of this. Sometimes they get a ribbon, not for all of it, right? Just for your projects.
Sure.
But they're doing this out of the goodness of their heart and their strength and their leadership abilities. So these kiddos, they're going to go on to be your top tier employees, bosses, managers, right? They've got teamwork, communication, responsibility.
And that's kind of like you said, you're not getting the blue ribbon per se for this here, but you're getting exposed and experienced to things that, because let's face it, whatever directions you take your life, whatever, passions you follow, you're going to hit struggles. You're going to hit walls, and how to navigate those and how to deal with that. You're getting the tools to do that right now. Mm-hmm. And I know it's hard to see the forest from the tree sometimes when you're sitting here, but 20 years from now, you'll be like, oh man, how awesome was that? What I did there, and it'll click. It'll be a moment. Might be with your own kids. Might be something your kids do or something, and then that moment will click like. You got it. Mm-hmm. It'll happen. We're all had it at some point in our lives because we were like you, and then it happened.
So. I could tell you, I remember sitting at college and being like, "Oh, you obviously weren't in a youth development program."
You don't know, but then it's like, well, okay, they kind of nailed it. Dang it. So let me ask that: what's life after high school? 4-H? What's dreams, aspirations? We're gonna go this side. We're gonna make you first now.
Okay.
What do you want to do after? What's next for you in your journey?
So I'm still kind of young. I'm just a junior in 4-H this year.
Okay.
So I've still thought about it a lot.
Sure.
I really want to get involved in agriculture or be a vet maybe.
Okay.
So I'm trying to decide like what college I want to go to pursue being a veterinarian and like doing something still kind of relating to 4-H.
Now, do you want to do like large animals or cats and dogs and stuff?
Large animals,
you want to be out there
definitely.
on the horses and the cows
Yes, sir.
and putting your hand in various places. Awesome. God bless you.
Somebody's got to do it, right?
What are your goals and dreams after school and after 4-H?
So I want to go get my rancher's degree.
Okay.
And here lately, for whatever reason, I've really liked the idea of becoming an ag teacher or an extension agent.
Do it.
Kind of just like carrying on.
Kind of rubbing on something like this over here?
Kind of just carrying on what I've got to experience growing up.
Kind of keeping that tradition going and doing the next generation.
Yes, sir.
Do you like working with people and kind of being that? Because that's kind of a skill set you'll need. A lot of coordinating and things like that. But very cool. But kind of want to keep it home here and do its thing.
Yes.
And excellent. For you, what are your goals, aspirations after high school
So
and 4-H?
this is actually my last year in 4-H.
Okay, so you got to think quick.
Yes, I do. So I plan on going to WT.
Okay.
WT.
Okay.
Sorry. and study for vet science.
Okay.
And I want to become a veterinarian.
Okay. Like a large animal or
all
small?
The above.
All the above. So from
exotic animals.
Yes.
Ooh, so from like mice to parrots to elephants?
Sure.
Different size fingers needed for different. Just very cool. So I want to go ahead and get an event. What would like? I'm just kind of curious. Would it? Because you always see like you ever watch I'm sure you do because this is what you love, like Animal Planet, and they got like those guys. Is that kind of like where you want to go out, like almost they're like adventure vets? You know what I mean? Where they don't have an office per se where people just bring stuff. They go where the animals are and start helping and things.
Well, if I have to, maybe, but I was thinking more like Dr. Pole.
Okay, I got you. You want to hang your shingle on a door somewhere and say, "Come on in and bring
He's my inspiration.
Bring us your doggies, cats, and chickens."
Yes.
And finally, what are your goals, aspirations after high school and 4-H?
Known since I was 7 years old that I wanted to become a vet, but ever since I was a freshman in high school, I was wanting to look. I started looking at colleges and whatnot.
Okay.
So I'm gonna continue on. This is my last year as well. In 4-H, which is sad.
Well, I noticed your hat. Are y'all gonna be life together maybe
yes.
after school here?
Yes, they're roomies.
I'm not a detective, but I saw the hat and I was like, WT.
I didn't realize that. So I'm gonna go to West Texas A&M as well, and then I'm gonna major in animal science, but I'm also going to get my certification in equine dentistry and farrier certification.
So you want to get up in the mouth and doing the teeth and all that?
Well, I want to be like a one-stop shop. That way I can, take care of hooves.
Like Inspector Gadget of veterinary science.
Almost. Then I would like to, sometime in the nearby future, have a equine therapy rehab center type thing.
Okay, kind of like what they have in for folks not familiar, Ruidoso has one that they do for PTSD folks and stuff, and it's equine and fishing. They actually have fishing as part of it too.
But I kind of want to have for like the rehabilitation center just for the horses, because like where I'm wanting to go is going to have a lot of racing and whatnot. So I want to.
So you kind of want to get in that life after the horses kind of. Served its purpose in these various industries and let them have greener pastures, kind of thing.
Bailey's pony retirement.
Have good retirement.
I get it. Like Seabiscuit. I'm sure you've seen the movie Seabiscuit, right?
I don't think so.
Oh, it's too old of a movie. Dang it. You guys are too young. But anyway, go see it. You love that movie. It's right in your wheelhouse. Seabiscuit. In fact, make like your next board meeting.
This is our recreation time.
Clock
we
out
need
2
to watch
hours
a
for
movie.
Seabiscuit. Right?
Mike said.
No, it's a true story about the horse, and he was it was kind of have you seen Seabiscuit?
No.
Oh my goodness, what a great movie. It's it came out like early 2000s. I don't know. It was about 15 years ago, maybe.
I'm an adult, but I still live on Disney princesses, so I don't know.
Yeah, but it's about the horse that basically he was a horse that he was sired by all kind of thoroughbred lineage and all that, but he was just a horse that I guess didn't kind of take well to the training and but he was stubborn. But then the right people came along, and next thing you know, this horse started whipping butt and racing and kicking everybody's butt. And so he was like this underdog horse that came, and then he went and raced the Triple Crown winner and doing it. But anyway, it's a good movie. But it's all about the horses but life after the horse and the jockey. But I think you guys would love it. It'd be right in your wheelhouse. As animal lovers and veterinary hopefuls, most of you, this would be right in your wheelhouse. So Seabiscuit, add it to your list.
Got it. Noted.
Very good. So let me ask you this: if you were trying to tell folks your age and a little younger to be a part of 4-H, what would be the things you tell them that you would recommend them to be a part of it? What would you say? Hey, this is why I think you should join 4-H.
I have an answer.
All right, we'll start on your end. Back on your side now.
The community and lifelong friendships that you will have, and growing up in it and making new friends, and always like going to SLR and state conventions and whatnot, getting to meet people from your same state.
Gotcha.
Just, and reaching out and always having those people, and then just learning about the leadership and some a lot of 4-H members that I have met have been really shy, and so if you have leadership skills in order to help them work through that, and then when they first start to when they finish, it's like they're super shy, and then they're like jabberjaws.
Helps you come out of your shell or blossom a little bit.
Yeah,
the rose blooms.
And just learn life skills that most kids don't know because they just are in school 24/7. So.
Yep, I understand that one. All right, who wants to go next? Go for it.
So you heard most of us just talk about our love for animals and livestock, and that we've shown animals. Most people think that when they're not in 4-H, they think, wow, I can't be in 4-H because I don't have an animal. I don't have anything to show, but it's not really about that.
Yeah.
You can do so many other things that don't have to do with animals.
You don't have to touch poop at all and still do
Ever.
a full
Yeah,
4-H
you really
experience.
don't.
Yep. Absolutely, you're right. Who wants to know? We got 2 left. All right, Briz, go ahead.
Well, adding on top of that, you can learn life skills that you never would learn, like in school.
Sure.
Animals, they show you a lot of responsibility or teach you a lot of responsibility, and you can know how to grow from that, and it just helps you grow and mature as a young person. And you learn a lot of things that, just school, just doesn't include.
Life experiences that
yes.
you just can't learn in a classroom.
Yeah,
yes, get it.
And you work with money if you show livestock and stuff, and so
you learn adulting.
Yes, you learn adulting.
Way to learn about the real life.
Exactly.
I'm still looking for an adult. You're
like,
adult.
Yes.
Is there a specific class that maybe I get involved in?
Yeah, what project was that?
Awesome. Well, excellent.
What else? It just gives you opportunities in life. It just opens a lot of doors for you, and it just helps you out for the future, and it just grows your dreams.
Absolutely. Excellent. Well, thank you guys. We got less than a minute left, so I'm going to turn it over here. If folks are listening and saying, you know what, maybe I need to check out 4-H and stuff, what's probably the best way is it just come by the extension office or get online?
So you can do any of the above. So we are at 2000. Goodness, I just forgot our address. 200.
It's on Chisholm.
It's on Chisholm, yes. 200 East Chisholm, Suite 4.
Yes.
You can Google us, Chaves County Extension. If you are listening on the edge of the county, you can Google whatever county you're in with extension at the end of it, and it will show you all of our programs, not just 4-H. We've got Master Gardeners, FCS programs, extension clubs. There's so much more regardless of your age, so check us out. It's online. It's an NMSU website. So
absolutely, and like we said, the proof's in the pudding here. I mean, we see
you won't regret it.
4 young ladies here that are probably brighter than some adults I've met in just recently, matter of factly. But anyway,
we won't talk about that part.
Another day, another time. Thank you for coming in. I know you got school
you.
commitment. Well, sort of, kind of school today with the remote learning. I'm sure you got some assignments to work on later here. But
they'll probably go back to sleep and then try again later.
Yeah. But thank you guys, and
thank you.
Thank you, and I can't wait to see what's next for you guys. Check back from time to time when you pop in. So, and good luck here as you're about to go on to your next journey. Here, both you guys. So good luck to you guys, and we'll see you guys next year.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. It is it's 8 o'clock. We gotta get you in the news. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, or Roswell, New Mexico.
Elected and would offer a new approach to governing. She also doubled down on her belief that Donald Trump is a fascist. On the topic of religious faith, the vice president said she prays every day and was taught that faith is a verb. Boeing factory workers have voted against the company's latest contract offer, and they will stay on the picket lines in a strike that has now lasted 6 weeks. This Boeing employee didn't like the proposed contract.
A lot of people that have been here for X amount of years and not having a raise, and we're seeing other companies, Shippers Union, 67% raise. I'm like, and the people that have been here in this leading industry, the biggest aerospace company in the world, we like to see better from them, and we deserve better from them.
The offer included pay raises of 35% over 4 years, but no go. Boeing's refusal to restore a traditional pension plan remains a sticking point. North Carolina officials say the catastrophic flooding and destruction from Hurricane Helene likely caused at least $53 billion in damages and recovery needs in the state. Lawmakers meet today to consider further relief. More at townhall.com.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
McDonald's is working to reassure U.S. customers that its restaurants are safe after a deadly E. coli outbreak linked to its Quarter Pounder hamburgers. McDonald's USA President Joe Erlinger appeared on NBC's Today.
We are very confident that you can go to McDonald's and enjoy our classics. You know, we took swift action yesterday to remove the Quarter Pounder from our menu. This was swift and decisive action by us. And it is the Quarter Pounder and 2 ingredients on that Quarter Pounder that are under investigation by the CDC.
McDonald's pulled Quarter Pounders from 1/5 of its U.S. stores. The CDC says the outbreak sickened several dozen people in some 10 states and that 1 person died. 24 people were killed in widespread flooding and landslides set off by a tropical storm in the northeastern Philippines. News and analysis at townhall.com. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau is fining Apple and Goldman Sachs $89 million for mishandling Apple Card transactions.
The Bureau says Apple failed to send tens of thousands of Apple Card disputes to Goldman. And when such customer disputes were reported, the investment bank did not follow federal requirements for investigating. The agency says many consumers faced long waits to get their money back from disputed charges, and in some cases saw damages to their credit reports. Beyond penalties and relief to those impacted, the agency is barring Goldman from launching another new credit card unless it can prove the product will comply with the law. I'm Lisa Dwyer.
Secretary of State Blinken is on his 11th trip to the Middle East since the start of the Israel-Hamas war. This week he's meeting with officials in hopes of breaking the logjam of ceasefire negotiations. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel said, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
The Deuce.
Of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost Friday.
Very close, very close. And it's one of those things that kind of got put on the back burner this week with no school and all that. But football this Friday.
Yeah, to my knowledge.
Big game happening at the Wool Bowl.
To my knowledge, none of the...
I haven't heard otherwise, put it that way.
Yeah, so actually got a couple big games. Because we got the game at the Wool Bowl and then...
On Saturday, I believe, is Roswell High taking on Mayfield, at Mayfield.
And then Goddard and Artesia Friday night.
Artesia traveling to the Wool Bowl to take on Goddard.
Yeah. So that's right. I forgot it's a Saturday game.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, you're right. I'm like, football, what? And,
I know.
yeah.
I know.
So, matter of fact, I'm just curious now because I'm supposed to do the interview. Generally speaking, pulling back the curtain a little bit. Thursday after the morning show is generally where I record the halftime.
Don't break kayfabe, man.
And so I'm kind of like at school. Everything. I was like, I wonder if someone's going to show up after the show to do a recorded interview. So we'll see. Hopefully. But like I said, the world's kind of different right now, and that's probably the last thing on people's brains. But anyway, life is slowly getting back to normal, and football Friday night and Saturday for you, so you get double. And of course, I believe we'll also have ENMU Greyhound football this weekend as well too. So there's a lot going on.
And our big event Saturday is at Roswell Honda.
That's the Honda Pink.
We're painting it pink.
Their annual event.
Yep, raising money for the Chaffetz County Cancer Fund.
They in years past they usually have like you go there and there's different nonprofits usually there for you can go and support. A lot of times they'll have giveaways or cool little things to buy.
Little pink shawls, different handmade jewelry, crafts and stuff like that. I was gonna get to that. In years past, it's controversial, but in years past we've had the Save the Tatas cookies. And those were a big seller. It's real touch and go. It's. I mean, they weren't there last year. But
tell your kids.
Pardon the pun. I know touching. They weren't there last year, but they were there before that.
Tell your kids they're old vinyl records or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what they are. Vinyl records in a blouse. So come on out. It'll be a lot of fun. We're going to be raising money and giving you the chance to win some pretty and pink purses, some Michael Kors. I think there's a Kate Spade in there, some real cool designers.
Okay, some those fancy. Those are all fancy words, guys.
I found out Kate Spade. So because I was curious about the name Kate Spade.
Well, it's a person.
Well, she's a person. Yes.
Well, she died. But like that was a big deal when she passed.
Well, from what I gathered, she was. I think maybe I'm thinking of a different Spade. I think that's David Spade's sister, who passed. David Spade's brother,
wasn't her name Kate Spade?
David Spade's brother married Kate Spade, and Kate Spade is the designer.
Okay.
So
maybe I'm confused.
Yeah.
So Kate Spade's alive. It's a different Spade that's dead.
I don't know.
I don't know. I thought it was Kate Spade. It was suicide, wasn't it?
Well, let's break down that barrier.
I mean, I'm just racking brains for the cobwebs because I just seem to remember a little bit about this to think of that, and I don't know. All I know is, like, my wife was the only reason who kind of said and put it on my radar.
You're right. Passed 2018.
Okay,
yep,
I thought it was crazy.
Fair enough. So she was the wife of the brother of David Spade.
Okay. I will say, because I remember my wife telling me, because she was oddly, I guess Kate Spade has a bunch of phone covers that are kind of popular designs, and that's where my wife was talking. Oh, it's a Kate Spade, and she was all, and then she told me about that other stuff that I wouldn't have known had I been married to my wife. So,
controversial hot take.
All right,
every one of those designer purse whatevers, I don't like, and I know I'm not the target demo. But
you don't like a designer purse on your arm?
Like their designs. Like when unless I see them, I've seen a couple that have like the name boldly printed on the side. I'm like, oh, that's a designer. But even then, it's just a giant walking billboard for your designer.
Well, all right,
line.
let me. We're gonna break this down into a little psychology. Generally speaking, and a bunch of women are about to get salty right now. Generally speaking,
about to mansplain.
People that like things like designer purses, these are people that like attention. They like people to say, look at me, I'm somebody. Look at me, I'm of importance. Look at me, I have influence. Generally speaking, these are why people buy these purses. It's all about that. You know what? I'm telling people, if you market right and you literally take a poop in a bag and you call it designer, you'll get thousands of dollars off that. Because people gravitate to, oh, it's trendy, it's this, it's that. It's a status thing. So these purses are gaudy because it adds to the. Why do you think there's MK all over the Michael Kors? You can tell that's a Michael Kors purse or whatever it is. It's because that adds to the customer that wants it. They like to be noticed. They like to have people say, "Look at that," or "Hey, this person's got it. They're carrying this gaudy purse."
I'm almost exclusively a brand ambassador for George from Walmart. I'm just saying.
And then you got guys like me that
brand
literally
specific.
dress like a homeless man.
Exactly. So I think the point of what we're trying to say is we're giving you the chance to win one of four designer purses this Saturday so you can look fantastic.
I'm not judging you. All I'm saying is that's what it is. So why is it like that? Because that's what those customers want. They don't want subtle. They want in your face, look at me. I'm in your world right now. That's what they're saying. Anyway, moving on. Doug Austin's just patiently waiting.
But 10 to 1 will be up broadcasting live at Roswell Honda.
Have a cookie.
I know a lot of folks have had issues, with vehicles, losing their vehicles and stuff. They've been really, really aggressively advertising that, however you can get it to their dealerships, they're doing their best to make deals for you.
From what I'm understanding, the dealerships on 2nd there, the Honda, Nissan, Toyota, Hyundai, they weren't as impacted as badly. The water wasn't an issue there, so they're pretty okay. The Ford House, obviously, and so from my understanding is they're moving the Ford House temporarily over to 2nd there by Nissan and Honda and all that.
Between Toyota and Allsups.
There you go. Toyota and Allsups.
Yeah, that's where they
feel like that's a country song somewhere. We're caught somewhere between Toyota and Allsups.
Toyota and the truck stop. But yeah, they'll be out there with non-damaged vehicles, and they're saying if you, this is on the Roswell Ford side. Even if you can't get the vehicle to them, let them know where it's at, and they'll go get the vehicle and count it as
trade in on it.
Count it as trade equity.
That's an all new cash for clunkers situation.
It really is. It really, really is. And you forget. As time distances from it. But I was even driving down Virginia earlier. I saw a car up on the side of the road that had like a whole tree in the on top
I
of
did
it,
see a picture of
and
that
a shattered windshield. It was, they're still everywhere.
Yeah, pretty much town right now is a series of an hour on Twitter. If you think about it, like if you look at Twitter, you have to look at Twitter all the time to understand what I'm meaning there. But that's pretty much what Roswell's right now. It's just a series of memes from Twitter. That's what it feels like. All right, let me give you the rundown for this hour of the show. We'll get you up to date with the weather here in just a bit. Pastor Doug Austin from Country Club Road Church of Christ is going to join us here in just a bit. Of course, they've got some relief efforts and some, I keep wanting to say hurricane because we've been talking about hurricane. I've caught it like 4 times over the last couple days. I've called this flood a hurricane, and I almost did it there. But flooding relief and efforts and things like that, too. So we'll get that update from Doug. And, of course, just an update on Country Club Road Church of Christ as well, too. Later on the hour, we'll get you up to date with news of the local variety, along with your Wall Street business update, sports report, too, and whatever else we can come up with for this hour of the show. But first, let's take a look at your weather. And today's like 91. I'm still kind of like, dude, we're like, Halloween's next week. Why is it 91? But anyway, here's your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Pretty warm again today, upper 80s to low 90s, and sunshine. High pressure is over the Four Corners. Overnight will be clear, our low in the low 50s and getting a little bit windy with a cold front moving through. We'll get a break on the hot temperatures on Friday. It looks like we'll stay in the mid 70s, windy and sunny. Upper 70s and sunny for Saturday. We're back in the 80s and sunny Sunday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently, scrolled up too high, 53 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 69%. Winds are out of the northwest at 5 miles per hour. As I mentioned earlier, sunny, 91 for a high today. Winds will be out of the south, 5 to 10 miles per hour. If you do not like 91, good news is it will not be 91 tomorrow. Mostly clear tonight with an overnight low of 53. Winds will be picking up out of the west, 10 to 20 miles per hour tonight. Especially after midnight, you'll see it picking up. And with that's coming cooler temps. We're going to see a 20-degree temperature change from today to tomorrow. 91 for a high today, 71 for a high tomorrow under sunny skies, north winds 5 to 15, which fortunately this is a 20-degree swing, but it's like going from hot to just pleasant. So that's not too bad. For Saturday, we're looking at sunny skies and a high of 77. North winds 5 to 10. Then we go back the other way, warming back up. 10-degree bump on Sunday from we're going to be a high of 87 on Sunday, and then they're talking Monday 90 again. But by midweek, we're back down in the mid-70s next week. So a little bit of roller coastery here for the next couple days. We'll go from hot to pleasant to hot again, and then back down to pleasant. All right, 8:17. We're going to take about a 3.5-minute break, and then we will talk with Pastor Doug from Country Club Road Church of Christ. Don't go away.
Being called a fox in your marriage might not always be a good thing. Hi, this is Pastor Troy and my wife, Miss Julie, for the Joy of Marriage.
In Song of Solomon it says, "Catch all the foxes, those little foxes, before they ruin the vineyard of love." I looked up the word fox and it means cunning, achieving one's goal by deceit or evasion. A female fox is a vixen, which is spiteful or a combative woman.
Those little things we do to try to get our way can ruin our marriages. Try just being honest and talking through the situation. Do what's best for your marriage, not just for yourself. When Julie and I learned to choose to do what's right instead of trying to be right, our marriage turned around. You will find marriage is so much better when we work together.
If you have any questions or would like further information about the Joy of Marriage Ministry, please go to jomconference.com.
This is an important service update from Plateau for Roswell, Dexter, and Hagerman customers. We are aware that many of our valued customers in Roswell are experiencing service outages due to the recent weather event. Our teams are working diligently to restore services as quickly as possible. We understand how important staying connected is, and we appreciate your patience as we navigate these challenges. Please know that our top priority is getting services working safely and efficiently. Thank you for your understanding and support from all of us here at Plateau.
Like so many in our area, Carabelli Dental in Roswell suffered devastating damage as a result of the recent flooding. Doctors Keon Agger and Sarah Usher and the entire Carabelli Dental family would like to say a heartfelt thank you to the Roswell community, first responders, volunteers, and all who understand that the time to stand up and rebuild begins now. Rest assured that the Carabelli team is hard at work to reopen their doors and get back to making Roswell smile again. Carabelli Dental, proud to be Roswell Strong.
At Anderson Bethany Funeral Home and Crematorium, we honor and pay tribute to the achievements of your loved one by celebrating the life you shared together. Anderson Bethany Funeral Home and Crematorium is compassionate and cares about our local community and the families we serve here in southeastern New Mexico. Locally owned and operated, we will be here to help you decide how to celebrate the bond you've shared and pay tribute to the unique individual you've lost. Visit us at 2609 South Main in Roswell or call 622-5888.
So your pecans aren't as big and bountiful as they used to be? Well, what would Jim Gill do?
Hi, this is Ben from Roswell Seed Company. Few people knew as much about pecans as Jim Gill. And if he were here today, he'd tell you it was time to fertilize. He'd tell you just what you need and show you how to use it. Then he'd make some joke about your neighbors making fun of your nuts.
So when there's trouble with your pecans, head for Roswell Seed Company and ask them, what would Jim Gill do?
Do you love your car? Yes. Well, Roswell Hyundai wants to help you keep your current car with a lower payment. Introducing Refi with Hyundai. Roswell Hyundai wants to help you refinance your current vehicle with rebates and discounts to lower your payment. If you're ready to upgrade, Roswell Hyundai has a fresh inventory of new and pre-owned vehicles with special financing available regardless of your credit with I-10 accepted. Don't forget, all new Hyundais come with a 5-year bumper-to-bumper warranty and 3 years of free oil changes. So, what makes Roswell Hyundai the #1 used car dealership in southeastern New Mexico? You do. Roswell Hyundai, 1909 West 2nd.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. You burn more calories sleeping than you do watching television. For the ultimate workout, fall asleep in front of the TV. Here's Mike Winters.
That, my friends, is a workout program right there. Good morning. It is 21 minutes after 8 o'clock. And joining us in the studio this morning, Pastor Doug Austin with Country Club Road Church of Christ, back with us. It's been a minute since you've been on the radio. I see him every week. He comes in and records ads. As a matter of fact, you sit in the same spot. Sits every time.
I know. It's just you got my name on it. So,
but yeah, we don't get to talk to you on the radio very much. So good morning. Welcome.
Good morning.
Welcome to what this place looks like at 8 in the morning.
kind of looks the same.
Kind of looks the same, doesn't it? Yeah. But of course, you guys, fortunately, it sounds like you church home in itself pretty good shape as far as the flooding goes. Probably some leaks and things, but church on Sunday, no issues. You guys are going in like you normally would for church.
Yeah, no problems there. We kind of sit on a hill, and our parking lot got roughed up a little bit. But
to be honest, I live not too far from there, and I'm on that same high ground.
That's
so
right.
we're blessed in that area.
That's right.
This particular time. So, but that being said, the church is a home for people and refuge and thing. And so, of course, you guys are stepping up, and you've got an event coming up here to get resources to folks that are in need right now.
Yeah. Well, we're going to have something on Friday. But what I find so interesting is as I've been driving around and working and digging people out and all of that stuff, churches from all over this town have shown up. And
it's great. And I was seeing the trailers from Hope. Get the name.
Yeah, and they were yesterday, I believe.
And they were rolling through doing their thing. And I think day before and you're just seeing just people.
Yeah.
Maybe they're with the church,
teams,
maybe they're not. They're
teams of people.
And they're not even from here in some cases. They just kind of came into town and said, all right, put me to work, you know. And so we're seeing so much acts of just humanity going on.
Well, and, someone asked me the other day, do churches matter anymore? And I kind of thought about how to answer that question. And I wished they would have asked that question on Monday instead of a couple weeks ago. Because before government steps in, before the state's going to do anything, before FEMA's even going to find the keys to the car.
That's right. There's the churches out there.
The churches have already done a whole bunch of stuff.
They're making sure people got food, make a place to stay.
That's right.
Do they need clothing? And by the way, speaking of that too, I haven't reminded folks today, but First Baptist Church Gyra Ministries, they're open all week, 9 to 5.
And they've got all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, and so if you do
teams
need
to go clean,
go by here in about 30 minutes. I think they're going to open up. So come on down.
I'm just so impressed with how the churches have all moved together and all the work they've done. And it just makes me proud to be a minister at one of the other churches.
Sure.
Here. So
it's you're kind of like, because I imagine, like any job, you have your days where, and these are those days that feed the soul and say, this is why I'm glad I went, the path I went is where I'm at.
That's right. And I've slept great every night because I've been exhausted.
He's getting tired.
I didn't know mud was heavy. So you push mud around for a while, and that's different than my pencil in the office.
It's a whole lot of kind of sludge. It was fun when you're a child and you're making pies with it, but as an adult, it's not fun no more.
No, I'm with you. What's cool about what we're going to do is it's going to kind of supplement what's been already going on.
Okay.
And
so kind of a next wave kind of thing.
Kind of, and then we're hoping we can get a next wave even after that.
Excellent.
So what we're going to do on Friday, so tomorrow at 10 o'clock, we'll have just a drive-through.
Okay.
And so you will come in our Washington entrance.
Okay.
And you'll have a couple ladies that are gonna meet you, and they're gonna say, here's what we got. What do you need? And kind of do a little intake, and you'll take that little sheet, and you'll basically do a drive-through.
Okay.
And we'll fill your trunk or your back seat or your front seat or whatever you need. You don't have to get out.
Excellent.
Unless you need to at the very end, because we're going to have some close options.
Okay, so maybe if you need to see if it fits or kind of
if you need to see some shoes or something like that.
Gotcha, makes sense.
But what we're going to have is some of the same stuff everywhere.
Sure.
Things like water and food.
Essential care needs.
Yeah, but there'll be some personal care boxes that are really kind of neat. And I hope they'll bring some men and women at least a little smile in the midst of some hard days.
So a little bit of luxury with your necessities.
Yeah, a little bit of luxury.
Nice.
Lots of detergent, washing,
soaps,
everything.
cleaning products, things like that. Yeah.
From laundry to
household
floors,
cleaning.
household cleaning.
Okay.
All kinds of cleaning products, trash bags, yards, mops, rakes, all those things, gloves.
Pretty much all the things you have in your shed or garage or under your kitchen cabinet
that
you just need that you don't have now. You here's a box of that stuff to help get you started.
Right. And then one of the things we found that is a great need, and so we've been able to get some, is there's been a great need for things like sheets and towels and pillows. And a lot of the trucks that have come in have had lots of water and food, and all of that's great.
But kind of lacking the towels and bedding and stuff.
And so hopefully we'll have some of that.
Excellent.
Again, we'll
Which,
give it
by
away.
the way, if folks are in that giving and think in those terms, like if you're saying where can I help, sounds like bedding and towels is probably an area maybe you can pick the slack up, because I'm sure if you're experiencing that, all the other churches and organizations are also experiencing.
Yeah, that just seems to be one of the things we've gotten the most requests for.
Okay.
And so we're going to try to do that.
Okay.
Now, hopefully our second phase, so we're working with a group called the Disaster Relief of Churches of Christ, and it's kind of all over the South. And we learned a great lesson from the churches in Ruidoso. And in the midst of their fire, they kind of got this initial wave that we've been seeing here. But their second wave has been stuff like appliances and furniture and, bedding in the sense of mattresses.
And to be honest, this is that part where people probably aren't much rolling in because they're not in the spotlight anymore.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so the donations aren't rolling in, and that's where you find the churches really getting. And so Ruidoso's kind of in that phase now. So like you're saying, you're taking a page out of that book, and so I'm guessing maybe that's what our churches will probably hear in a couple of weeks. We'll phase to that more of those household solutions like appliances, beds, furniture, things like that.
Well, and just like you were talking a few minutes ago with cars damaged left and right, all those houses that got a foot of water inside of them, that's going to ruin stoves, and that's going to ruin washers and dryers.
And if you don't properly abate or get rid of that stuff, you're going to have a problem later. So if that appliance is, riddled with mold or whatever,
So what we'll do on our little intake form when you start through the drive-through process is ask us about that. If you know you got a need, I think we've even got like water heaters available on the next wave.
But get on the list, saying, hey, and just really, because if you tell the church, I'm guessing that's where they're going to say, okay, well, we need to make an extra push because guess what? Not only you, but we got 3 other people that need that appliance or that hot water heater or whatever it is.
Well, and that way we can go to the company and say, okay, we need X amount of water heaters.
Yeah.
And maybe we need, 2 microwaves.
But it kind of gives you a shopping list, so to speak, or a wish list here.
Exactly.
And able to go out and procure these things.
Yeah.
So.
And when you come in, you can ask the intake ladies any of those questions, and they'll have all the answers for you.
Excellent.
So they're way sharper than I am. They're so organized. So
this is kind of a customized
I hope so.
Box or whatever that you're going to be taking home on
what
Friday.
you need. If you don't need food, then we want to.
But there will be families that do,
exactly.
but you could use cleaning products, or you could use toiletries, or whatever. Or if you're just saying, maybe I don't need some of this stuff, but I really need that hot water heater. Can I get on the list? And if your needs are maybe bigger now, come by and let's get you on the list and stuff. If you don't need to take a box of toiletries, awesome. But if you need other things, let's get that process started. So
one of our other plans, or what we hope is we hope about 1 o'clock or so tomorrow. We've got enough that we can load up a couple of trucks. We want to try to hit Dagerman and Hexter.
Okay.
Dagerman and Hexter. It's been a long day. Dexter and Hagerman.
Yes. Because they did get hammered too.
Right.
I know Roswell's kind of been in the spotlight, but
and churches down there have done a good job too. But there's
they're
just
amazing.
not as many.
Of course, they're built different than us. They're like they're used to being a little more isolated. Where Roswell, we're kind of needy, but you know what I mean. We're more creature comfort oriented, But that being said, they could definitely use, because I've heard everything from pretty much every structure in these 2 communities has been impacted in some way, shape, or form by the flooding.
To some degree.
And so any support we can help and get down if we can get down there, please do, because I'm sure Dexter Hagerman could use the help just like Roswell can. So
hopefully,
the more the merrier here, and absolutely.
Hopefully you'll see a couple of trucks driving around, and they're going to jump out when they see people and knock on doors and.
Be like the ice cream man back in the day.
Yeah. like the old Swan man that brought my mom those taquitos.
You start hearing the music.
Maybe I'll tell him to play some music. Some church hymns or something. Okay, so when you hear a truck with church hymns, you'll know it's us.
Doesn't have ice cream, but it got a lot of cool stuff.
That's right.
But again, so tomorrow at Country Club Road Church of Christ, the church location there on Country Club in Washington, right on the corner there. You'll start at 10 a.m.?
Yeah, 10 o'clock.
10 a.m. tomorrow, and it'll go while supplies last. Hopefully, like you said, by early afternoon, we're going mobile, and we can hit some of our other towns in the county with some aid here, too.
Yeah. Well, we're getting a semi-load with 27 pallets, and all those pallets are stacked substantially over my head.
Excellent.
So I hope we don't run out right away.
Excellent.
But we also want to make sure we get it out to people who need it.
So you got the volunteers to unload?
We do.
And do
We've got everything manned and ready.
But I imagine if someone wants to help out, we won't turn you away.
if we got a spot open, we don't want people standing around.
Sure, but at the same
twiddling
time,
their thumbs.
More hands make less work. And
that's right.
When you're moving pallets and pallets of stuff, and sometimes sometimes people need a breather too.
Well, Roswell Livestock has lent us their forklift driver for the day.
Awesome.
And from what Bryce Taylor has told me, he's pretty amazing.
Excellent.
And it's like, get out of his way, let him do his thing, and he'll have that truck unloaded in.
Speaking
in
of
15
Roswell
minutes.
Livestock, I just mentioned a quick update on that. So of course, last week we had American Legion guys. They were going to go drive to Carolina with some supplies for hurricane, and then the flood hit, and things kind of got But we do have an end result on that. They left Saturday. They went out there. They actually met somebody in something like Alabama or something. I don't remember. I don't have it in front of me. And they got the supplies to them. So mission accomplished. They got stuff that's going to Georgia to go help out efforts there. And then so our guys are heading back as we speak right now.
Well,
so,
good.
But Roswell Livestock, they supplied the trailer, and of course, their family that's involved with this is a part of their family as well too. So
well, and those guys are awesome. I mean, from Dale and Kay,
they've been stepping up.
That whole crew
prior to the
fantastic.
flooding, and continue to do so during flooding.
And whatever comes next, they'll help with that too.
It's a Roswell staple.
That's right.
Certain things in town, and it just is Roswell. Roswell Livestock and Farm Supply is one of those places.
Yeah. So we just need to thank them. I mean, they're lending us stuff and helping us get stuff in and out, and that.
And I like that they're working with you guys because let's face it, churches by and large are better equipped to get to because they have we got an army of people, and so using you as that conduit to get the most benefit out of that aid is smart. So I like that they're doing it.
It is. So we need to thank Rochelle Taylor. I think she's been instrumental in kind of helping us out, and her son Bryce and all of that.
So just was curious, the trucks that are coming in, are they coming from an organization that the church partners with, or where does that stuff come from?
Well, it's called the Church of Christ Disaster Relief, and what's odd is we have supported them when they've been other places.
Okay, so now it's our turn.
Yeah,
basically.
never thinking. We've all said, "Aren't you glad we don't live in the hurricane zone?"
Hold my beer.
we got our same version, and so it was kind of neat us talking with them. And we were able to schedule it out, so we were a little bit later in the line. And so, I mean, we didn't need 6 trucks here on Monday.
Well,
we needed it scattered through.
And this is the part that makes sense here, because yes, when it first happens, the Monday and Sunday of this, after this event, it's all over the news, and everyone's like, "Where do I send money? Where do I do things?" And that's great because it does handle immediate needs and stuff. But what happens is 4 or 5 days later, we're not talking about it on the news as much. People aren't contributing that stuff. And so that's where churches and places that this is what they do all the time have to step up, because the shine is not there anymore and people have forgotten.
Yeah.
And so there's not that steady stream of support. So now it's the churches, the people that are always in that highway of getting and doing those things have to step up. And so you guys are kind of saying, we, immediate rush first needs, people place to stay, taking care of our parishioners and things. But now that the waves kind of shifted, we're going to step up, and when others have dropped off, we're going to pick that baton up and keep going with it. And that's kind of what you guys are doing.
Yeah, we know the rebuilding doesn't happen in the first week.
Absolutely.
So, that's evident.
They're still uncovering at this point.
That's right.
We're still learning. I'm sure there's still a few layers we got to peel back, and we're like, I didn't realize that was as bad as it was. Or I feel like there's still a few surprises out there we're about to find out about.
It'd be nice if there wasn't, but at least let's be prepared to handle whatever comes next.
It's just because it's just the way. I mean, think about it. Every bridge, everything. And by the way, I do want to. I got to keep reminding. I said it on Facebook yesterday, but I got to keep reminding people. FEMA and Department of Homeland Security Emergency Preparedness are in town. They are here. They're knocking on doors. I'm not sure if they're setting up a location to go to yet. As we get that information, I will share it with you. I do not know that yet, but they are in fact in town. And I know people yesterday were getting knocks on doors and questioning it because on the news they're saying they can't respond and you're not FEMA. And so they are FEMA. They are Homeland Security, Emergency Management. They are legit. They do have credentials. But if they do come to your home or wherever you're at, they are who they say they are, and they are offering help. So,
well, and thank you for all the stuff you've been posting. We've kind of formed a little list, and a lot of the stuff we pulled off has come from you guys.
Well, that's been kind of I've been trying to do.
And you've been a great resource to the whole community.
Everything we see, I share, and sometimes that bites you in the tail. But
there was the cookies talk a little bit ago that I could have missed, but that's all right.
But at times like this, where people and I think that's where most people are having their fears and things. It's not the event itself. It's like, what's next?
Right.
Where do I go? What's happening? And so that's the part that's, where I sit from my platform. I'm like, well, hey, how can I get that as best as possible?
One of the other things that one of our staff members, Melissa Ramirez, has put together kind of a master list of every place where you can get stuff.
Okay.
Even to the point of, now we're starting to kind of see the building needs, where can you get a good price on drywall and all of that stuff. And
well, and I know also too, the Chaves County Health Council, they've kind of been with 211. They've got a list too, and it's a living list, which that's why they don't want you to copy and paste, just share it, because as people update that list, and this list is a twofold. It's people that are in need of services and people offering services. And so you get on the list on the services you offer, you get on the list on people that need services, and they're basically people fill in and check. But that's why it's the living list. And so
that's been a great resource.
Yeah, and that's really the best way. And so and FEMA and all the other big boys are tied into this too. So it's kind of like think of it like a wedding registry, or kind of one of those deals where you go to and then, all right, when you do, you check it off, and then everyone will see that you bought that item, and we don't know to buy the fifth vacuum cleaner or whatever it is. It's kind of like that a little bit. Think of that.
Well, they've done a good job.
Wise.
So because we've used their resource and passed it out.
Yeah, and I highly recommend. That's probably at this point the way to triage and keep. And to be honest, too, this also is a way to combat the nefarious from happening. From keeping the people that aren't. They take advantage and prey upon people during these situations. This is a way to kind of lock them out a little bit. So if you go through those channels, you're probably guaranteed not to be victim to people doing unsavory things. So,
I agree.
Which is going to get worse. The fly-by-nights will be, if they're not already here, they'll be coming in as we speak.
And the contractors will be miserable. That's a huge concern of ours, of our people who are having to rebuild, to make sure they get the right guys.
My best advice to you is stick with the local folks.
Because they're good, and there's plenty of them.
And they're not going away tomorrow if there is an issue.
That's right.
If you do choose someone that's not part of that, do your homework.
Yeah.
Do your research, see credentials, see history, see everything, because, just be leery of anything that's not something that you're not familiar with. It's been part of our community for a while. So just saying. But anyway. Again, tomorrow, if you are in need or if resources, immediate needs from anything from your toiletries, food and things, but if you also are in need of bigger stuff, like your maybe appliances and stuff, we're not passing those out tomorrow, but we're getting set up for the next phase on that. But beginning at 10 a.m. tomorrow, come on by Country Club Road, Church of Christ, on the corner of Country Club in Washington. Near the hospital, Eastern.
Right there, kind of nestled behind the golf course.
Right over. Yeah, right there, right next to NMMI's middle school. I can't remember the name of it. Right
across the street from Sanders Law Firm.
Yeah, right there, all in that little ballpark there. And come on by. You'll come in off Washington, right? Is that what you said earlier?
Yeah.
That's because it's a drive-through event. You can come. You don't even have to get out the car, but you can get You'll kind of put in your checklist of items you need. They'll fill you up as best they can and send you on your way. But if you do need those greater needs, hot water heaters, appliances, please let them know. They're formulating lists and trying to get those needs met within this next wave here.
Right.
So, and of course, you can always go to Country Club Road Church of Christ website, or come by the church if you have any questions or anything. And of course, if you're looking for a church home, come on out.
Preacher's pretty nice guy.
Come out on Sundays, or what time's your services on Sundays? 10?
I don't know. I start when the sun comes up. 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock. Yes, I know that the one on the radio is at 10. I didn't know if there was an earlier.
That's the same
service.
One. You would
I
think
didn't know
I would
an early bird special.
You would think I would know that faster.
But of course, and please, if you're in need, or if you'd like to help, please reach out. Or maybe if you can offer resources to the church, like we were talking about procuring some of these maybe your business, say, hey, maybe we can. Maybe we can partner with you guys to help get some of those needs.
Or we can say, here's another church that's doing this that we're not.
Yeah, exactly. And this is all on the table. So
we'll do the work together.
It's all, we're just trying to get people to get them back to as close to normal as possible.
That's right.
So,
all right, sounds good.
Excellent. Did we get all, Doug? Anything we missed?
I think so. I've crossed everything off on my list.
All right.
So, all right, I appreciate it.
To quote Hannibal Smith, I love it when a plan comes together. So there we go.
So which one of us is Mr. T?
Sean.
Yeah, that's probably Sean.
I'm gonna give you face. Your
he's
face.
the good-looking one.
He's
right?
the one, yeah. He's
Okay.
the ladies' man.
That's appropriate.
We'll give you face.
Who was the goofy one that had
Murdoch?
That I'm glad you didn't call me him.
Roy.
All right.
Roy's our Murdoch.
Roy is Murdoch.
Roy's our Murdoch.
Okay.
So your face. I'll be Hannibal, and Sean will be Mr. T.
You know what's bad is I will get back to my office and they will have something on my desk with 18 design.
A nice picture of Dirk Benedict right there on your desk.
Yeah. Or the guy from the 80s when I was a kid. All right.
Yeah, that kind of reminds me of a certain young pastor and his not knowing about Top Gun many, many moons ago.
It seems like he might have worked with me.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Doug.
I moved him to Kentucky.
That's right.
No, I didn't move him, but I'd love him to come back.
Love moved him.
That's right. Some girl. All right.
Thank you, Doug.
Okay, you bet.
All right, it is 8:42. Let's pause for news. Chaves County Sports Update, your Red Apple Market Update, and comerciales to pay for lunch. We'll be back. Don't go away.
Now, your Pecos Valley News Update. I'm Jared Sorello. Roswell Mayor Tim Jennings confirming Wednesday a third death due to the flooding disaster. The individual's name has not been released. The mayor also said a donkey at the Spring River Zoo has died. More than 500 people had to be rescued when the Spring River overflowed its banks Saturday night from historic rains that broke rainfall records. New Mexico Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham also has declared Chaves County a disaster area, the state offering up an immediate $1 million in funding to help in the immediate relief efforts in and around Roswell. Authorities also ramped up patrols in Chaves County and Roswell after reports of looting. Captain Joe Smith of RPD told KRQE Television there had been a handful of reports of car break-ins and other property theft crimes. There were also reports of break-ins at city-owned facilities, including the IT shop and the parks office. The Roswell Police Building also was flooded with about 2 feet of water in the basement, and Captain Smith said the department has lost 9 patrol cars. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello.
It's time for the Chaves County Sports Report. Here's what you need to know for Goddard and Roswell Athletics this afternoon. Goddard is playing Artesia. Roswell is playing Clovis, and that goes for all of the team sports except for football right now. For Goddard, they'll be hosting Artesia in girls soccer. That starts at 6 o'clock tonight. Goddard's 5-0 in district. Artesia is 4-1. That'll be preceded by the boys game. Goddard 2-3 in district. Artesia's 3-2. That starts at 4 o'clock. And in volleyball tonight, it is Artesia paying visit to Goddard. Starts at 6:30 this evening. Roswell, meanwhile, in volleyball, hosting Clovis at 6 o'clock. The Roswell girls soccer team at 3-2 will be playing at home against Clovis. That starts at 6. And the boys soccer team 4-0-1 in district playing at Clovis tonight at 6:30. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Pretty warm again today, upper 80s to low 90s, and sunshine. High pressure is over the Four Corners. Overnight it'll be clear, our low in the low 50s and getting a little bit windy with a cold front moving through. We'll get a break on the hot temperatures on Friday. It looks like we'll stay in the mid 70s, windy and sunny. Upper 70s and sunny for Saturday. We're back in the 80s and sunny Sunday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
All across America, this is the Red Apple Audio Network's Market Report.
Stock averages open about 1% lower than yesterday. Stocks fell slightly because interest rates are not coming down as much as expected, and some still think that there will be a recession if prices don't come down. Jim Cramer of CNBC says companies must bring prices down. He says companies are in denial about the need to lower prices. The new head of Starbucks says they may have to cut some prices, and so may some home sellers. Home prices are another 3% higher than a year ago. As a result, home sales and new mortgage applications both fell, even though more houses are for sale. The New York Federal Reserve Bank says that business activity has not declined over the last 6 weeks. It's generally been pretty stable. The Wall Street Journal says many small businesses are being forced out of their stores by chain stores offering to pay higher rent. But the small businesses are the ones that sponsor local youth sports teams and connect with the community. And here's important information for local businesses. And here's important information for local businesses who advertise on Google. Starting November 21st, local services ads will only appear if they are linked to the business's Google business profile. I'm Joe Connolly with Business.
This is the Red Apple Audio Network's Market Report.
Larry Kudlow here with an urgent warning. Washington is coming for your savings to pay for their spending mistakes. That's why thousands of Americans are shielding their savings with gold. For a free 2024 gold guide that explains everything you need to know, please go to colonialmetalsgroup.com/Kudlow or just call 800-621-3908. That's 800-621-3908 for your free gold guide and learn if you qualify for up to $7,500 in free silver now.
Attention, Roswell and surrounding areas. Roswell Ford knows recovering from an unexpected natural disaster is stressful, and our hearts go out to everyone who experienced loss due to the flooding. The damage left behind is devastating, but we're already seeing what it means to be Roswell strong, and we acknowledge and appreciate the heroic efforts of local authorities, first responders, and National Guard rescue teams. We've already received and continue to receive special shipments of new Fords and quality pre-owned vehicles available for immediate delivery during our massive Super Tent Sale. It's at our temporary location on West 2nd Street between Toyota and Allsup's. These new and pre-owned vehicles without flood damage are being offered to the public at unprecedented savings. We've instructed our staff to take any car in any condition. In fact, even if it doesn't run, we'll come get it and give you a generous allowance toward a new Ford or high-quality pre-owned vehicle. And we'll work with your insurance company to help you get what you deserve at Roswell Ford's temporary location on West 2nd Street between Toyota and Allsup's. Thank you.
Help benefit the Wounded Warrior Project with H.F. Sinclair, Saturday, November 9th at the Veterans Mission 5K Fun Run, Walk and Ride. This 5K Fun Run will begin and end at Beige Veterans Park in Artesia, and the course will take you around Eagle Draw, walk or run. Kids 6 and under can join on their bikes. Pre-registration is $25 for adults and teens, kids $10, and your four-legged companion only $5, with all proceeds to benefit Wounded Warriors. For more information or to sign up, visit hfsnm.com/veterans-mission-5K.
It's football time. Time to lean back and enjoy the game in a new recliner. The time is now to see Glenn's Furniture during their gigantic recliner clearance sale. Choose from recliners for her, recliners for him, big man recliners, lift recliners, reclining sofas and love seats, all at clearance prices. Even if you're not a football fan, you'll love the selection and all the low prices you'll find. Plus, get free delivery and set up at Glenn's Furniture, corner of Alameda at Union, Roswell.
Late in the Apostle Paul's life, he wrote the following: "I've fought the good fight, I've finished the race, I've kept the faith. Now there is in store for me the crown of righteousness, which the Lord the righteous judge will award to me on that day. And not only to me, but to all who have longed for his appearing." That is the definition of dying well. Paul had not always been a follower of Christ, but once he changed his life from persecutor to that of a man who followed Jesus to being fully dedicated, he was all in. He knew that he was forgiven, and he knew that he had lived a life of service to his Lord. He wasn't perfect, but he knew that Jesus was, and that Christ's saving grace was more than enough. You too can have that same confidence to die well. You can never earn it, but Jesus wants you to have his free gift of forgiveness. He wants all of us to be with him in heaven.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell. Are you ready to succeed? At ENMU Roswell, they cater to your educational needs. Their dedicated facilities and faculties provide you with an exceptional learning experience. From academic programs to behavioral sciences, business, health education, or technical education, ENMU Roswell offers a wide variety of certifications and degree programs designed to take your education and experience to the next level. Register now on campus or online at roswell.enmu.edu. Eastern New Mexico University, Roswell. Success starts here.
Have you experienced the Valley Cafe yet? It's much more than lunch or dinner. It's an experience. Chef Anthony Noble is a nominated Chef of the Year and manager with a 4.9 out of 5 kitchen cleanliness rating and a 4.8 out of 5 most loved rating. It's time for you to experience the difference that so many others already have at the Valley Cafe. Visit for lunch or dinner at 801 West Brasher, the Orange Building across from Church on the Move in Roswell, and save the Valley Cafe in your contacts. 575-755-EATS. 575-755-3287. Don't forget, we can cater your event too. you, and a portion of our proceeds go to the Dream Center in Roswell.
Attention, Roswell and surrounding areas. Roswell Ford knows recovering from an unexpected natural disaster is stressful, and our hearts go out to everyone who experienced loss due to the flooding. The damage left behind is devastating, but we're already seeing what it means to be Roswell strong, and we acknowledge and appreciate the heroic efforts of local authorities, first responders, and National Guard rescue teams. We've already received and continue to receive special shipments of new Fords and quality pre-owned vehicles available for immediate delivery during our massive Super Tent Sale. It's at our temporary location on West 2nd Street between Toyota and Allsup's. These new and pre-owned vehicles without flood damage are being offered to the public at unprecedented savings. We've instructed our staff to take any car in any condition. In fact, even if it doesn't run, we'll come get it and give you a generous allowance toward a new Ford or high-quality pre-owned vehicle. And we'll work with your insurance company to help you get what you deserve at Roswell Ford's temporary location on West 2nd Street between Toyota and Allsup's. Thank you.
If you plug your nose, you can't tell the difference between an apple, potato, and an onion, unless you open your eyes. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 52 minutes after 8 o'clock. Got a few minutes here before news here on the top of the hour. A couple things I want to remind folks about. Continue to, as I mentioned, I was talking with Doug there and a couple things popped up. But yes, First Baptist Church, Jireh Ministries, they are open today, tomorrow, and through Saturday from 9 to 5 if you need clothing or other aid. They're opening their hours all week here through Saturday, so you can come by and pick up if you need items or need aid of any way. They will do what they can for you here, and of course we're talking about Doug about their event tomorrow beginning at 10 a.m. out at Country Club Road Church of Christ there as well. And of course a lot of other churches and everything, they're doing their stuff. I saw Pastor Wood out there talking about some of the work they're doing over at his church, and lots of stuff going on throughout town here. So check in with your churches, see where you can help. If you do have your church home, I'm sure many of you have already kind of been talking with those folks, but that's where I think the next waves are going here, is these churches and things like that. Now, that being said, as I said earlier, FEMA and Department of Homeland Security Emergency Preparedness representatives are in town. They are here. They are doing their thing. So if they do knock on the doors or they come visit now, some people asking if they're setting up a location for displaced people and stuff. If you don't have a door to knock on, I do not have that information yet. As soon as I hear something, I will definitely share that along to all you folks out there. Mm-hmm. But they are in fact here. So I'm sure they started yesterday, and I know there are some people kind of, wait a minute, it says in the news that they can't get here because of the other stuff, and they're here. They are here. Right. They're doing their thing.
The door knock thing is because a lot of it's case-by-case basis. It's very much that, like, this house was devastated, and then right across the street they're just fine. So it's really this is why we're trying
I think
to
that's what they're doing, is going through the neighborhoods. Mm-hmm. Now, like I said, if I do get information, if they're setting up a place where you can stop and visit them, I will let you know as soon as I find that information out. So I just wanted to share that along with folks out there too. Couple of things happening outside of all this flood stuff, just normal things. Matter of fact, maybe tomorrow I got to play it. I didn't get a chance. I recorded an interview with Mr. Hayden Hill, Coach Hill, depending on how you know him. Teacher Hill, Coach Hill, Hayden Hill, neighbor, coach, teacher, coach, whoever you know him.
Secret.
He joined, I'm going to call it his annual visit, because that's kind of how it is. With Veterans Day coming up here right around the corner. Of course, the actual city-wide Veterans Day celebration will be on November the 9th, that Saturday morning. As per usual on the courthouse lawn there. They'll start everything with the ceremony, and I'll be emceeing it again at 9 a.m., and then the parade will start at 10. This year is on enduring the storm, desert storm that in Afghanistan and pretty much modern war veterans are kind of each year they pick a different, like it was Korean War one year and Vietnam, and so this is it's the current stuff. Here are our youngest veterans and our first generation veterans here, really, those folks, and that's who we're spotlighting this time. There'll be a guest speaker. I don't know it off the top of my head. I'm not sure they were working on that one, but it will be November 9th. Now, Goddard with Mr. Hayden Hill. They're going to do their Goddard High Veterans Assembly on November 7th at Goddard High School. They'll do the pregame in at 1 with the little reception and everything, and then at 1:30 they'll start the actual ceremony in the gym, and it's a rock concert. They go all out. But I did have Mr. Hill join me yesterday for an interview that I pre-recorded that I'll probably play tomorrow. I won't have time today, but I think I got a gander into. I think I got some time tomorrow to play it, so we'll get it worked in, and I'll obviously play it as we get closer.
Yeah, you're jam packed today.
Today is a little stuffy, yeah, a little full. But anyway, so that's her. And one more veteran-related event I'd like to put on your radar is on actual Veterans Day itself. And at 1 p.m., we actually had Dara Dana join us on the air to talk about this yesterday. Daughters of the American Revolution, they're going to be doing a placard. And they're going to be displaying it and installing it, or whatever you want to present that here on Veterans Day. Here on the Chaves County Courthouse lawn at the Veterans Memorial there. They've got a spot set up, and they're going to be installing the Daughters of the American Revolution placard there for all to see. And so that ceremony will take place at 1 p.m. On Veterans Day, November 11th. I believe NMMI is going to have some of their choir and singing and out there, so they're going to do a whole thing. But they love to have the public come out and be a part of that ceremony. Absolutely. It's free, doesn't cost anything, and it'll be right here downtown on the courthouse lawn on Veterans Day, that November 11th.
Very good.
Yeah, a couple things there. Anything you're seeing that?
I mean, it's more just every day there's a new road that's been opened up.
Sure.
An awful lot of Serve Pro being out and in the community and cleaning up some places. I'm definitely seeing a lot of, as Carrie put on her page today, the main thing that people need right now is hands and money.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of people. A lot of stuff on Facebook where people are saying, hey, we need help at this address. Can come by, or hey, I need a crew of
and there's been
10 bodies that can help clean up over here.
It's been awesome to see people step up and help out neighbors.
I know Christina and them, they kind of organized over at Spring River a cleanup yesterday, her and Juliana, and I think they had good turnout that were just citizens out there cleaning up as best they can and doing their thing. And so there's more and more of that. So as you get wind on those, or you know what, I'd even... neighborhoods organize cleanups together. Especially if you got like neighborhood watch programs and things, maybe we can kind of shift gears on that and turn it into help each other out and getting everybody through. Maybe that stuff's already happening is what I'm hoping.
I'm starting to see a lot of it. You do see a lot of people coming together and helping. It's just, as it fades from our collective conscience, we need to make sure to still be helping those people.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's kind of why I was when I started this conversation is look to those churches, because now that, we're getting less and less in the news each day. The priority shift, the needs change, and we need and guess who? After the spotlight's off of it, it's going to be our local churches, our local nonprofits that are going to be taking care of business. So support them, keep working with them, and keep helping them navigate as we get through this. So, all right, 'tis closing in on 9 o'clock. Time for some town hall news. We'll be back on the other side. Don't go away.
Your home for Sean Hannity in Roswell. 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Greg Clugston in Washington. The 6-week strike against Boeing continues. Factory workers said no to the company's latest contract offer, even though it included a 35% raise over 4 years. In the race for the White House, former President Trump appeared on the Salem Radio Network's Hugh Hewitt show this morning. He was asked why people have such strong feelings about him.
Because I have a tendency to win. It's a nice thing, and that bothers people. Sometimes I play a little bit rough, but they play rough. They are rough and vicious people. They are vicious people. They are dirty people. They've weaponized government. They've weaponized everything, and it's actually made me more popular.
Vice President Harris is stepping up her warnings about Trump's mental fitness and his intentions for the presidency. During a CNN town hall in Pennsylvania, Harris bluntly said she believes Trump is a fascist. The editorial's editor of the LA Times has resigned after the newspaper's owner blocked the editorial board's plans to endorse Harris for president. Mariel Garza told the Columbia Journalism Review that she stepped down because the Times was remaining silent in dangerous times. The U.S. is expressing alarm over North Korea's growing support of Russia's invasion of Ukraine.
We assess that between early to mid-October, North Korea moved at least 3,000 soldiers into eastern Russia.
White House National Security spokesman John Kirby said the deployment raises the potential for the North Koreans to join Russian forces in Ukraine. New research shows Russia has worked to amplify false and misleading claims about the U.S. government's response to Hurricanes Helene and Milton as part of the Kremlin's efforts to manipulate Americans before the election. The research comes from the London-based Institute for Strategic Dialogue. Townhall.com.
The socialists who...
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
The White House has some new rules for U.S. national security and spy agencies when it comes to artificial intelligence.
Advances in AI could possibly be harnessed for mass surveillance, cyber attacks, and even lethal autonomous devices, such as drones, which could wipe out an enemy. Their use by the military has been a key concern. The rules prohibit the use of applications that would violate constitutionally protected civil rights. Administration officials say such rules are needed, not only to ensure that AI is used responsibly, but to encourage the development of new AI systems and see that the U.S. keeps up with China and other rivals. Donna Warder, Washington.
Turkey has struck suspected Kurdish militant targets in Syria and Iraq for a second day after a deadly attack on a Turkish defense company. The Dow is down 149 points at this hour. News and analysis at townhall.com. Coca-Cola sales went flat in the third quarter after the company raised prices.
Despite the discouraging revenue news, the company still beat Wall Street's forecasts. Officials say they expect full-year organic revenue to rise 10%, which is at the high end of its previous guidance. The Atlanta beverage giant said its revenue fell 1% to $11.9 billion. That still beat Wall Street's forecast of $11.6 billion, according to analysts polled by FactSet.
That's correspondent Jeremy House. North Carolina state legislators returned to work today to consider further relief for recovery from recent hurricanes, especially Helene. Earlier this month, lawmakers approved a $273 million package after catastrophic flooding. But North Carolina's governor this week estimated at least $53 billion in damages and recovery needs. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The tablet said, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Crazy Miracles
of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell Talk FM. Happy Thursday.
Yes.
Welcome. It's Thursday. We finally made it. It's, like I said, like I started the show. Like sitting here and I'm like, Thursday, it's like, oh, the week's going by quick, but it really hasn't, because Monday seems like a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
You know, now that I look back on it, but I'm like, oh, it's Thursday, Friday, weekends will be here pretty quick. But it's like, last weekend seems like a year ago, because it's just the world we live in. So it's kind of a mixed bag, but it's like, oh, it's already Thursday, but it's like, so I get it. It's weird. And I'm sure a lot of us still feel a little off kilter. School's a big thing. I think that mindset of kids not in school just doesn't.
Teachers don't know what to do. They're making far too much soup.
Yes. Oh my gosh, that was unreal.
When she said it moved from the crock pot to the roasting pan, I'm like, that's an undertaking.
I could have fed an army.
So peel back a curtain here, just so you're wondering. My wife found a recipe for, what was it called? Cowboy stew or
Cowboy
something?
stew.
Pretty good. It's literally got
It's
everything
really
in it.
good.
There's a reason why I took the whole thing. Like, it's got ground beef. It's got
I
smoked
saw sausage, yeah.
2 pounds of ground beef, 2 packages of smoked sausage, 4 potatoes.
Nice.
Mixed veggies.
Onion.
There's some other things in there too.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's literally everything.
Right.
It's literally just pour it into the thing. But it's really good. But yeah, it turned out that like our normal soup pan, and I don't even think she finished the ingredients, and it was full to the top.
And I was like, this isn't going to work.
Only other thing we had that had large was a big roasting pan.
We finished it in the tub.
Yeah.
Whipped up some bathtub stew for you.
I put the roasting pan on top of my stove and covered 2 burners. So I put 2 burners on.
So but it's really good. But yeah, we literally have
did it that way.
a gallon of this stuff. So we're going to freeze some of it.
Yeah, we've got some gallon freezer bags. We'll put some in the freezer, and on a cold winter's night,
let's just make sure
will be ready.
Make sure we freeze it and not leave it in the back of the refrigerator at the radio station.
Yes.
A la cabbage stew.
Yes,
That happens?
exactly. Oh, yeah.
I believe only maybe a year to a year and a half ago, we finally cleared out the bowl of cabbage stew that you had made from. I want to say right around when I started.
Yeah, remember you made that? And Sean ate some of it, but some got left here, and it just.
I don't make cabbage stew.
You made it
That's
one time.
how rare it was.
Yeah, one time. It was a one-time deal.
I did?
Yeah.
Yep.
You made cabbage stew once. I remember.
I don't even have a recipe for cabbage
It was
stew.
probably the same place you found the cowboy stew recipe.
You don't have a recipe for cowboy stew either.
You know, Mike and I are the worst at when we do put stuff in the freezer bags and put it in the freezer.
Mm-hmm.
Stays.
Yeah.
It doesn't get
I know our
brought
freezer in the
out.
garage, there might be a few briskets or something in there.
Oh, there is. And ham from last Thanksgiving that we bought.
That's
we
awesome.
froze.
The soup will get eaten.
It's time to throw that away. We're throwing away all of that, and then I'm putting in the fresh stew bag.
There we go.
So it can take the place for 2 years.
Yep.
Yes. No, I'm going to be good this winter and pull that out.
We use makeshift ice packs for when, sprains or strains. You just pull out a bag of stew. And
Although, when I was making arrangements to make room in the refrigerator to accommodate a large pot, I did find in the back like a 4-pack leftover of cherry Coke from when my brother was here. I think that was like 2 years ago.
Wow.
I got 4 cherry Cokes and everybody wants them. I don't drink
It was
them.
a
They're
year
full
ago.
ago.
It wasn't this summer, but last summer. Yeah.
It was pre-COVID, wasn't it?
No.
Mike's like,
No.
Jimmy Hoffa? Jimmy!
They came when Randy and Linda came down and we visited Ridgeau.
When was that?
Not this summer, but the summer before that.
It's terrifying.
I don't remember.
The reverse timeline that you can go into.
I know they
when
were here, but
when you clean out your refrigerator, you can go through. Oh yeah, that was a good concert that weekend. I saw Whitesnake.
Like going through a time
Original
capsule.
singer too.
Right. Well, and
Memories.
I ain't gonna lie, the pantry's got a few too, because I'm like, gluten-free hamburger helper. When did we get that? Oh, that one time 6 years ago when someone stayed the night here, and I'm like,
for Mom.
we never ate it. And I was
Yeah.
no,
my
it wasn't
mom's
for your
gluten-free.
mom. It was for Cam or somebody.
Oh, when she stayed with
It was
us,
one
we
of
were
one of
going to
our
need
nieces, yeah.
gluten-free stuff, so we went shopping and we grabbed that, thinking that'd be a good kid's.
Yeah,
snack.
it's been sitting in our pantry for 3 years
Just
now.
send it to her like, we found this. Here you go. Don't even put it in a box. Just slap a stamp on
Can
it.
I offer you some gluten-free hamburger helper in this troubling time?
We are heading up there Thanksgiving. Let's take that box.
There you go.
I'm pretty sure it expired 3 years ago, Kim. We couldn't even give it to Harvest Ministries.
The box are all dry. It's
There's
not
a
gonna
date on
expire.
that thing, Kim, and it's probably 2 years ago on it. I'm just telling you.
That's the best buy date, all right? It's
what
still
I tell
fine.
them.
It's
Best
just
buy,
not
used by.
best.
There's one place that thing needs to go, and
You
it
can
is the
tell
round
Mike
file.
it's the date not seeing
Uh-huh.
our house.
I mean,
if it's a day past, trash.
all right.
Certain things. Milk. That's
No.
it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
If it's like
You can go on mic there if you want.
and it's got like
Oh, we can hear.
Yeah, come join us.
my mouth. If it's something like that, I'm not as bad. But
Right.
like fresh stuff, milk, produce, yeah.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the same way. But come on. If you're going to the pantry and you find a chunky can of soup and it says Best Buy 2022 and it's 2024, I'm not going to eat that.
Right.
This is not Walking Dead. I'm not that desperate. All right?
But the question is, what do you do with the can?
I think it goes back in for another
You
3
put it
years.
back on the shelf. Exactly. So you're just as guilty as she is, all right?
But I don't eat it. I don't want to eat it.
lazy to walk
Just
over
throw it
to
in
the
the trash
trash
can.
bin.
I know. I guess
Okay, enough dirty laundering.
She's like, this is about to turn on me. Let's flip
Well,
it.
here's the best part of this whole
Gotta back out of
conversation.
this conversation.
The best part of this whole conversation right now, and this is something that I know, and I'm pretty sure
Uh-oh.
Sean knows.
Uh-oh.
Roy is in that other room just blowing his gasket that we're talking about throwing away food right now.
Mhm.
Like he's probably, because Roy is a man who will salvage food to a fault.
Because you can find use out of it. You know what? Even the most expired food makes a good fertilizer.
So I know Roy is probably
composting,
punching himself in the mouth right now, just upset with what we're talking about.
I'm pretty sure there's still a half-eaten pint of Hidden Valley Ranch ice cream in our fridge right now.
You know what
Freezer.
makes that better? Freezer burn. It really adds to the flavor.
Sets it off.
I was here for that day.
Yeah, that was not pleasant. That is, and pull back the curtain. I eat ranch like on things, but I'm not like ranch every. I
there's some
I don't
people
put
that
ranch
are
on
ranch
everything.
fanatics.
Yeah, I'm not that guy. I mean, I
You're
like
a
it.
ranch fanatic.
I'll dip a chicken wing in it, or do it, but I don't put it on salad.
I'll
I
be
don't
honest.
Put it,
You know the people that like put ketchup on everything?
Yeah.
I'm that way with ranch.
Yeah, okay.
Ranch.
I
Yeah,
go
I'm not-
blue cheese before I go ranch.
So I
generally
like
speaking.
ranch, but I'm not like a ranch connoisseur. So that ice cream was like, yeah, this is everything I don't like about ranch in a form that is just not like that's a food crime and a half. That's not even a funny joke. That's just a food crime, and people should serve
This
time
is
for
just cruel.
Now, I'm not a ranch fanatic, but I do have to say there's one thing I am on, and that is when I have a baked potato, instead of putting sour cream, I like to put ranch dressing on top of it, and it is good.
Sour cream,
that. Not me,
It's
boy.
good.
Sour cream.
bacon.
Way the
I'll
good
take
Lord
it.
intended.
I'll take it either way, honestly.
I mean, it's fine, but if there's a choice, I'm going sour cream. every
See, and
time.
I prefer ranch dressing instead of sour cream on my baked potato.
Hot take. I'm not a baked potato person.
No?
I always feel like
Wow.
you lose so much potato when you choose baked potato.
Well, do you eat skins?
No.
You eat all of it.
No,
Yeah,
no,
I eat the skin.
yeah.
No, I've always been of the mind of the
See, that's your problem. You don't eat
school
the
that
skin.
you
You're supposed to eat
scrape
skin.
the skin out and toss the skin away.
That's the.
Okay,
That's
So
but
you
what's
can
the
eat the
difference in
skin with
peeling
it.
turning it into French fries?
And
It's
there's
still
so
wasted
many
potato.
vitamins and stuff.
Oh,
in
there's
the
someone
skin.
told me the healthiest part of the potato is the skin.
Yeah, there's so many vitamins in the skin.
Okay, so I've been doing baked potatoes wrong my whole
You
life.
kinda
I don't
are.
know. I was just told that the it's like salmon.
Yeah.
You don't usually eat the skin of a salmon. You scrape the stuff out.
Yeah, but when you cover it in ranch, then you eat it.
No, like
you want-
when you eat a baked potato, you cut it and then you take a bite of the skin with the meat.
See, I don't
Yeah,
do
you're
it
supposed
that
to
way.
get both. You can't eat skin by itself.
I've
That's just savage.
always believed because it's open, because it's you open it and you put your ingredients inside. You're just supposed to eat the inside.
No,
Okay,
no,
so if
skin the whole
you
deal.
cut a roll in half and stuff it, do you just eat the inside? And
Well,
leave
no,
the
but
exterior?
that's roll.
Okay, so the potato
So
is
you're-
just the
you're
form
tell-
of a roll that you're stuffing stuff in.
You're telling me that the outside of a roll is where all the vitamins are?
No.
All the
No.
good roll vitamins?
If you
Just
want
you stuff it. Don't
Yes.
you can't eat the exterior.
If you want a good tasty skin on a baked potato,
Make sure it's rubbed in sea salt.
yeah. Well, and you brush olive oil on it, and then put sea salt on it, and then bake it.
That'll probably work too.
Oh, that would work too. Yeah.
Yeah, you need to put some liquid on that bad boy to give it a good
It kind of makes a crispiness to the skin and adds flavor.
Crispy,
It's good.
delicious as you smell.
Good.
I feel like I've been robbed of an experience, though.
Just saying, you know. Well, I'm glad that because if I said this, he would not believe me. But two of you in here on him, then he's going to take that in.
I was taught this way.
Okay.
So I blame my generation above. My parents.
I will also offer this.
This is where you can open your mind.
These are the same people that made you eat salmon out of cans.
No, mackerel.
Mackerel out of cans as a thing.
Hey. So
That's all I'm telling
It
you.
wasn't them that made him do that. Food stamps made him do that. Commodities made him do
You
that.
can buy other nasty things that aren't as nasty as that with your food stamps.
I have to agree. I wouldn't be buying up the
There's other options on the menu.
in a can.
I developed a taste for powdered milk. You learn to love what is available to you.
That's
you
true.
know?
Yeah.
True.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, there's so many things that are considered trash or
And
ghetto
honestly,
that I
commodity
really enjoy.
cheese is just as good as Velveeta.
I think commodity cheese is better.
Better. Yeah.
So y'all
Government
love
cheese.
Whataburgers.
No,
you love,
you're
not Whataburger.
Wahlburgers.
Wahlburgers. Sorry,
Yeah.
I got my burgers. You love Wahlburgers.
I do love a good
Because
Whataburger.
they put government cheese on their
Yeah.
Do
Wahlburgers.
you know what I miss? Wally Burger.
Oh, so much.
Yeah.
The grills were awesome.
Oh.
Yeah.
I miss Wally
Fats.
World. Sorry, sir. Who's up?
Fats was another one of those losses
I
of
know where your head
Sorry,
went,
sir.
Mike.
Park's closed. Moose up. French is closed.
New South Front should have told you.
Wally Burger. Wait, were y'all even here when Wally Burger?
I don't think that they were here.
I saw the
He
know,
had
I
just
think
gotten here.
when
He
I
just
first
got
got here,
here.
it was in its death throes. I
Yeah.
For the
think.
longest, they had two locations on
Yeah.
either side of 2nd Street.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
They
what
would
is
deliver.
what is now a car dealership used the old Wally Burger.
Yeah.
And I think did they bulldoze the other one on East, or is it
Yeah.
still there?
No,
Okay.
they
Yeah, so that used to be the one on East 2nd, but
Yeah.
that one on East 2nd stayed open up until like a decade and a half ago.
Yeah, I'm about to say it was here, but it was kind of in
Their chicken
the ending
strips
times.
were phenomenal.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We never did eat there.
Yeah, well, it was barely a thing then.
It wasn't
I think it was kind of
hopping
in
back then.
the twilight
End
at
up
that time. Other things, other
That's
options.
a childhood memory.
But yeah, if you'd been here for a long time, that's one of those. What's a bag of Wally Burgers?
Yeah. I used to love
Tasty
the.
Freeze is food, not ice cream.
That was a pulled bit of one of my stand-up act was how fun it is for me as a person now to drive around with other people and point out stuff that used to be other stuff. And it all started with that used to be a Tasty Freeze.
When I was in the military.
Was that the one I interrupted?
When I was in the military and stationed at Holloman, at that time in Tularosa, which is right there next adjacent, that was that Tasty Freeze was a Tasty Freeze. Now it's not, but it used to be a Tasty Freeze, and I remember eating there a couple times because, you know, like you said, you want a Tasty Freeze fix, and that was where you went. So, but it's not a Tasty Freeze anymore, but it was back in the 90s.
How long have you lived here?
My entire life except for a year.
Do you remember Los Ranchos?
Yeah.
That used to be like a restaurant when we were passing through Roswell when I was a little kid and we were taking road trips. That was our stop. That was our dinner spot.
Los Ranchos. Do you remember that one? I don't.
I
Before
vaguely
getting-
remember
it's on-
that.
No, it was East,
yeah,
second.
Old Cowboy Cafe.
Oh,
No, that was on the
okay.
other side of the road.
No, it's down there by the Old Cowboy Cafe.
Yeah, kind of by there,
Okay.
but it's not on. It's not that building or the same side of the road.
The
It's on
one I
other
had a
side.
genuine memory of the other day, I was driving down, I think Virginia, and I passed by where Scotty's Pit Barbecue used to be.
Scotty's Pit. I never heard of it.
Scott, it was the best barbecue in town.
Wow.
Nice.
It was before like Snazzy Pig opened up and all that. It was right behind the St. Peter's Catholic Church.
Okay.
But just such good barbecue. Memories. Oh, and by the way, somebody needs to tell John Mellencamp that is not how you eat a chili dog.
Don't suck on them. It's not normal people. That's a different party. I do want to remind folks before we get into the hour here and all that if you see members of FEMA or Department of Homeland Security Emergency Management Division representatives. They are in town. They are visiting in the county. They are knocking on doors. They are official. If you do get a knock on the door, they are who they say they are. Please let them do what they got to do. And I know some people, I shared that online yesterday, and some people were asking, like, well, do they have a place set up to go to? And I do not know. I have not heard anything one way or the other on that. If I do, and when I do, I will share that information with you. So I did want to pass that along because I imagine they're going to be out and about again today. And they are who they say they are. They are legitimate. They are here. It's good to go. You're fine. It is 9:21. Crystal Noble with the Humane Society is going to join us here officially in just a minute, and we'll get an update from her. I'm sure a lot to cover here on that one. So we'll get the update there, and then of course we'll talk thrift store and animals and building and everything else. So we'll do all that in a minute. Plus we'll get you update with news and whatever else we can come up with for this hour of the show. So let's do this. Let's get you update with the weather, and then we're going to roll right into the commercial break, and then on the other side we'll talk with Crystal from the Humane Society. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Pretty warm again today, upper 80s to low 90s, and sunshine. High pressure is over the Four Corners. Overnight will be clear, our low in the low 50s and getting a little bit windy with a cold front moving through. We'll get a break on the hot temperatures on Friday. It looks like we'll stay in the mid 70s, windy and sunny. Upper 70s and sunny for Saturday. We're back in the 80s and sunny Sunday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
The November general election is November 5th. On your ballot will be GEO Bond 3, which supports Eastern New Mexico University Roswell, as well as the New Mexico Military Institute. Bond 3 will not raise taxes. It is a continuation of a current bond. Proceeds from GEO Bond 3 are used by Eastern New Mexico University Roswell to expand the aviation maintenance hangar, to provide more hands-on experience for students, allow for more advanced and comprehensive workforce training, and state-of-the-art infrastructure to support cutting-edge aviation technology. Proceeds from GEO Bond 3 will support mechanical systems renovations at Wilson Hall at New Mexico Military Institute, including a complete overhaul of the HVAC system. Remember, Bond 3 is tax neutral and will provide for local jobs and economic development, and will help ENMU Roswell and NMMI meet student and community needs. The 2024 general election is November 5th.
At Artesia General Hospital, we know it's early, but schedule your mammogram today and save. Call 855-RAD-EXAM and save 10% off mammograms scheduled through October, Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And get a refreshing drink discount from Kith & Kin in Artesia or Blue House in Carlsbad. We use leading-edge, FDA-approved Genius 3D mammography technology to deliver more accurate results faster and with more comfort. Women over 40 do not need a referral for yearly screenings. Learn more at artesiageneral.com/mammogram.
Join Hot New Country 92.9 The Brand and Fiero 106.1 FM for a special live broadcast from 10 to 1 at Roswell Honda. It's time once again to paint Roswell Honda pink as we come together to raise money for the Chaves County Cancer Fund. We'll have a performance from the Charlie's Angels dance team, plus vendors selling handmade treasures and treats. And Roswell Honda will donate $50 from every vehicle sold. Come browse the scary good selection and pop the trunk of treats with purchase for some great prizes. And sign up to win one of 4 designer purses. See you Saturday 10 to 1 as we paint Roswell Honda pink. 2177 West 2nd.
Check out some of the ghoulish bargains you'll find this week at your local Farmers Country Market. Select jars of Classico pasta sauces are 2 for $5, and 48-ounce bags of Skinner elbow macaroni and long or thin spaghetti are $3.98 each. In produce, red or green seedless grapes are $1.99 a pound, and 3-pound bags of Washington Red Delicious apples are $1.99 each. In the meat department, Boston butt pork roasts are $1.49 a pound, and 10-pound bags of Fryer leg quarters are 69 cents a pound. These are just some of the ghoulish specials you'll find this week at your local Farmers Country Market.
Pressure Services, LLC in Artesia, New Mexico has immediate openings for experienced vacuum truck, kill truck, and hydrovac operators. Operators must hold a Class A CDL, at least 2 years of experience, and all positions require a clean driving record and must be able to pass a DOT drug and alcohol screening. Pressure Services offers great pay with IRA benefits and employer contribution towards health benefits. Please apply in person at 2702 North Freeman in Artesia, New Mexico. Equal Opportunity Employer.
If you're missing a tooth or several teeth, a dental implant may be the ultimate solution. Implants look and feel so much like real teeth that you probably forget you have an implant. Maupin and Brown Dentistry is one of New Mexico's most experienced implant providers, with literally thousands of implant patients who are absolutely delighted with the results. Call Maupin and Brown today for an evaluation. You'll be surprised how affordable implants can be. Maupin and Brown, your choice for experienced, state-of-the-art dentistry.
You can't hunt camels in Arizona, but you can buy them. They go for about $10 a pack. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 26 minutes after 9 o'clock. Now officially joining us in studio, Crystal Noble with the Roswell Humane Society. Good morning.
Good morning.
How's first off, how's the building? How's the structure, everything?
Everything is good.
Everything's as good as could be considering.
And I have to tell Trustmark Roofing thank you because our roof held up.
Hey, there's an advertisement for you next time, Trustmark. Yeah, blessing in disguise here.
Yes.
A lot of effort, time, money was spent on the roof here in the last 6-8 months here of the Humane Society.
Yes.
And thank God it was completed because methinks you guys are in a lot better shape today because of that. So.
I do. We probably wouldn't have a shelter if we did not.
Yeah. So blessing in disguise there a little bit.
Yes.
So,
but none of the animals were affected.
So
the
good
thrift
news.
store wasn't affected.
Humane Society's running full operations.
Yes.
No problems. Yeah, I got a little bit of water, but nothing minor. Mostly like a lot of people got kind of in areas, a little cleanup there, but didn't get in the structure. And thank God all your donations and things were safe. So all that you donated to sell at the thrift store, all that's fine. Thrift store's doing its thing, and they got sales going on right now.
They
so
do.
If you need to replace some things, and you can probably get it practically brand new for not brand new prices right now. So if thrift store might come in handy right now for folks who maybe lost some stuff, that they can get it pretty cheap.
So what they're doing right now, for today, tomorrow, and Saturday, the entire store is going to be half off.
Okay.
And then on Saturday, anything Halloween will be 75% off.
Okay. I know with all going on, Halloween is coming up here.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of trunk and treats and stuff have been kind of put on hiatus here because of the stuff going on. But, we're still going to have fun. I imagine there's still going to be trick-or-treating. Church and stuff will do what they can.
And I think Texas Roadhouse is still doing theirs because I volunteered to go do one for them.
Excellent. I know Foxford Galbraith has one planned. I haven't heard that they're not. So I think there's still stuff. It's just, with the flooding, it's not as prevalent as years past.
Right. So. And also next week for the thrift store, for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, they will be closed because they're going to be getting the store changed over into Christmas Wonderland.
Excellent.
Because on November 2nd, we have our Christmas for the Pets.
That's your annual event. You can come.
Yep.
If you want to do Christmas cards and get pictures with Santa and the cats and the dogs, probably more dogs than cats.
I don't think we have Santa this year to do
Santa.
photos. We have Rolla. He's going to play Christmas music during that stuff.
But we can get to do all that stuff and kind of get.
I think what we're going to try to set for next year, because this year kind of just it came up a little faster, is we're going to try to find a Santa because the one who used to do it, unfortunately, passed away.
We lost. Yes.
So we haven't found a replacement Santa that fits the suit just right.
All right, all you. And if there's because I know we have a collection of people that Santa season hits and they got their Santas and they go all over.
Yep.
Humane Society could use a Santa right now. Like you said, you got a suit, but sometimes these folks have their own Santa suits and everything. So, but if you'd like to volunteer your time to help out the Humane Society, we would love to have you because, like you said, we've lost our longtime Santa.
Yes.
So we have an opening, but we do have a suit if you can fit that one. But I know some people that are Santas.
A lot of people that play Santa have their own specific suit. So if you feel that you would want to sit around and hang out with us and have people bring their photos in to take pictures with Santa.
It's different. Usually you have kids on your lap. Now you have dogs and cats and a few grown-ups.
Instead of screaming kids, you got like dogs like side-eyeing you.
Yeah, you might have a few grown-ups too, but mostly dogs and cats.
We all have an inner child.
That's right. Well, and you might be thankful because depending on the dog or the cat, they might want to put the owner in your lap and put the cat in their lap because the cat won't be in your lap. You know what I mean? Because that cat only likes that lap instead of your lap.
Yeah. So we are. We do want to get back to doing that. We just haven't found somebody that put Santa up for us.
So we're putting the call out. If anybody wants to help, we can use you as little as here next month for this year's Christmas showcase and everything. And by the way, too, they usually do discounts on Christmas decor, gifts, ideas, new stuff that they kind of.
So basically, anything that came in like completely brand new that they thought would be like good for Christmas time, they've set aside.
Yeah.
And then they're going to pull out all the Christmas trees, the Christmas ornaments, the decorations, and try to make it an early Christmas wonderland.
And families out there that are celebrating your first, maybe you're a married couple and this is your first Christmas together. For the love of God, please go to the thrift store to buy Christmas decorations. You go to the big box stores buying it brand new. Next thing you know, your whole Christmas budget is blown on a Christmas tree and some lights. Go to the thrift store. You can get all that for pennies on the dollar. Where you're paying hundreds of dollars for a Christmas tree, you can get one for probably $20-$30 at the Humane Society. That's just as good as that $200 tree you bought brand new, or $400 tree, or thousands of dollar tree. That sometimes
some of them trees get real expensive. Like real expensive.
And to be honest, from time to time, those come across the Humane Societies. Because someone will have it, and then how people are. They get a new tree or something. I didn't like that one. It's too whatever, and then they get another one, and you benefit from that, and they bring them to the Humane Society. And so some of that stuff's brand new, still in box, never used, or maybe used one Christmas. But
we have one lady that changes her Christmas theme every single year. So she buys new,
and then she donates all her stuff. That's amazing. Yeah, I like that.
So she buys brand new.
Love that. That's
and
great.
Then after Christmas is over, she boxes it up and brings it down to us because she knows the following year she's going to change her style.
Well, I'm glad that she might seek help. Maybe some counseling, but I'm so glad that she does the way she does it. Yeah, I feel like there's something going on in the id there that you got to change it. But anyway, so conversely, if you're just one of those people that go all out on Christmas and you're collecting it and hoarding it, you probably know this, but the thrift store, really, you're going to save so much money. You're spending enough money on Christmas as it is.
So those. Okay, and I call them creepy. They're probably not to everybody else in the world, but those creepy Santa statues that a lot of the older generation likes to collect?
Yeah.
So they set all of those creepy Santas aside, too, for the collectors that like to come here and look for them.
Well, and I'm anytime there's decor in human form, you know what I mean? Like any decor that's of humans. I don't care if it's Halloween stuff, Christmas stuff, little pouting boys in the corner stuff. I don't care. It all creeps me out. I do not like human form decor.
I'm not a doll fan. I never was the Barbie girl.
Yeah. But I'm in the minority there. So
but if you like those specific type statues, the Santa statues, they save them all year round so that way they can put them out. And believe it or not, they've had some pretty antique ones come in.
Yeah, I'm sure there's value to them. Yeah, you get collectibles in there. Yeah, they're worth a lot of money. And but if you're into those things, come by the thrift store at the Humane Society. They really have a lot of that stuff. She's giving me dirty looks over the decor stuff. No.
I was just remembering my pouty doll.
Oh yeah, that was a Blair Witch kid.
When you moved in with me, I had this pouty doll, and it goes in a corner. And faces
so it looks like it's in timeout?
Yes.
It looks like that. And Mike would call it the Blair Witch Kid.
Because that's what it's right around that time that Blair Witch movie was also popular. And if you ever seen that movie, that's how it ends for most people.
So
they're in the corner there.
So I absolutely love and adore scary movies and all hauntings and things floating across the room. I love all of it.
Yeah.
But you put a Raggedy Ann doll in front of me and I'm not having it because I know the true story about that doll.
Yeah.
Yeah, you put those little porcelain dolls, where the eyes used to move.
Oh, yeah. That's nightmare fuel. Nope. I've watched too many Ghost Adventures and things like that to know. Nope, you never own or any other.
You don't bring a doll home.
There was a movie in the 80s. Was it around the time Poltergeist came out and something? It was one where the clown under the bed with the kid, and it was one of the kids' toys that came alive, and it was a
Puppet
clown.
Master?
Maybe. I'm pretty sure it's a Stephen King.
Puppet Master. Because they made 6 of them.
Yeah, that's nightmare fuel. Those movies, to this day, I want none of that.
I was like, oh yeah. But like when you look at like these dolls and then like you watch a lot of hauntings and stuff and then they're like, oh yeah, the demons take possession in those kind of dolls. And I'm like, yeah, those kind of dolls can stay over there.
Yeah. Like there was one around that time too. I think it was called like Cat's Eyes or something.
Maybe.
And it was in that same vein. And it was literally, and I feel like the Poltergeist girl before she passed was in this movie. It was like one of, you know what I'm talking about? Like it was in her, because, you know, I feel like it was another horror movie she did that wasn't Poltergeist, and she was in it. You know, something with Cat's Eyes.
Let's see what Google says.
But there was something with a clown, and it was creepy.
You saying that just reminded me of my pouty.
Yeah, the Blair Witch Kid was not something I was a fan of. That thing had to go. That was just giving me nightmare fuel every time I'd see that thing. Yeah. And you know what else used to creep me out? And this is peeling back a curtain on this, and then we got to talk pet stuff. But in the Artesia studio, when I did the show in Artesia, the last couple years I did that show, and I don't think it's there anymore. It might be. I don't know. It's been a minute. I haven't paid attention. But after one of the homecoming parades for Artesia High School, there was this bulldog, a papier-mâché bulldog that's about 8 feet tall, that I guess came off of one of these parade floats, and it ended up in the corner of our studio there in Artesia. And I would always sit there, and it'd be in the back corner, like just off the corner of my eye. And I don't know how many times I felt like someone was staring at me in the corner, and it was just that ginormous papier-mâché bulldog. But it creeped me out for years. Funny. And I used to talk about on the radio how much it creeped me out. I was like, why is this thing here? It's pretty sure there's a demon in that thing. I don't know. It's just
so she only played in the 3 Poltergeist movies. That was for a scary movie.
Okay.
Everything else, she played in Leave It to Beaver.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The reboot of the movie they did in the 80s there, that was because Leave It to Beaver wasn't, he was too young for that.
Yeah, she played, oh sorry, it was Webster, I'm sorry, and then Happy Days.
Oh, okay. Oh, now that you say Happy Days, I kind of vaguely remember her in Happy Days.
And then she was in Chips.
Dun, 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 Chips.
Fantasy Island.
Ah, the plane. Yeah. So, man, these are the who's who of 80s TV shows.
I know.
Anyway, we start talking about thrift store. Of course,
you can find all that kind of cool stuff at the thrift store too, because they get a lot of people that will buy them on DVD and then they watch them and then they donate them.
Old TV shows and have the DVD collect, come on by. You know, I know that's
Westerns are always popular.
Okay, I know. Same with books too. Like I know. Do you guys carry? Because I know of all books, most people collect Louis L'Amour. Of all people that collect books and stuff, it seems like Louis L'Amour Western. You're talking about Westerns. That remind me of it. That seems to be the one seed for people that covet old books. It's usually Louis L'Amour books, and usually almost every place has them. You can find them.
Like the book room, Abby has it set so nice to where she's got it fiction, nonfiction, drama.
It's like a library.
History. It is.
It's organized.
And then there's like little slots that say nonfiction and then fiction, and she did a really good job at changing that book room around and making it into a mini library. And there's a kids section, there's a religious section,
self-help. Yeah, like if you want old, like the Chilton manuals, things like that, thrift store is a place to find those kind of things.
They really are.
Yeah.
And then if there's something you specifically are looking for, book form or any other form, just talk to one of the people at the thrift store and say, hey, if I leave you a name and number and what I'm looking for, can you call me?
That's they do that all the time. I mean, if you're looking, especially like collectible types, like if you like Hummels or figurines or certain types of plates or dishes, things like that, because that's the kind of request you usually get. And Camille and the staff there, they always really do a good job of saying, we'll be on the lookout for you. One other thing we talk about too is Wednesday's new stuff day. So that's why the thrift stores usually close Monday, Tuesday there. That's when they restock, go through the inventory and get everything ready for the next week. But Wednesday is the day when you see new things on the shelf, new stuff in the store.
Complete new things.
And so we always joke, but there is what we call the 10 o'clock club, or what I called it. I don't know what they officially call them. So I've called it the 10 o'clock club. And they show up when they open the doors at 10 a.m. on Wednesdays. And
Same people every morning.
Yeah, and they even have their own little pecking order on parking and who's they've got it worked out. But that's the new stuff day. And then, of course, they're open through Saturday the rest of the week.
Yes, and so if you do have any donations that you would like to donate, we do please ask that you hold off until after the Christmas for the Pets thing.
Okay.
Just because they're trying to clear out enough item or space to be able to bring in the Christmas trees and all of the Christmas stuff that they've had in storage for this main event.
And I'm going to be honest with you right now, if it's something you can't hold on to, maybe you can find someone else that can, because right now there's a lot of people in need.
There's a lot of people in need. And so we've had a few people call us asking us, if we have dog food to help with the public. We had some. Okay. We were able to help a little bit. And then the Assumption Church was helping some too. Okay. I'm not 100% sure how much they had to be able to help with.
Okay. So how's your supplies for your own pets? We got enough?
Our supplies are very good.
But you could probably use, if you want to drop off dog food and litter, we can always take that.
Cat litter is going to be the main thing right now.
Okay. And don't forget, don't worry about the expensive, highfalutin, fancy litter that colors and tells your cat the whole life history and they pee in it. None of that stuff. Just straight up, almost looks like the cement mix bags.
They really do.
You grab that. That's just fun.
They really do. I want to say thank you to the New Mexico Youth Challenge group. This past week, actually Friday, right before the rain, they brought us an entire trailer full of dog food.
Oh, great.
Yes. Dog food and puppy food. So we are very well stocked on dog food and cat food at the moment.
But if someone's listening and they're without,
cat litter,
please call and see if we can help you out here. But if you'd like to donate, I mean, sure, the food's good and we'll find a place for it, but cat litter is the priority right now. That's where you really, and the way the Humane Society works is, that's why I said get the cheap stuff, because because of health and safety, they don't have permanent litter boxes. They put them in disposable throwaway boxes. They pour the litter. The whole thing gets thrown out at the end of the day, and that's for health, safety, and contamination to keep that from happening. So there's no point for you to buy the high dollar expensive litter. No. Just it doesn't have to clump or anything. Just
we mix Arm & Hammer baking soda with it to help keep the smell down, so you don't have to buy the fancy stuff. You can go buy 50-pound bags of the cheap clay cat litter, Walmart, Target, Tractor Supply, all those places. They're going to sell it, and it's like $5-6 for a big bag.
And that'll be very helpful.
And that would be very beneficial and helpful right now. And then one thing that people do not realize, if we do have another scenario where we are flooding again, plain cat litter is the best thing to put around your doors if you don't have sand litter.
It is absorbent.
Yeah, it is. And it will create a barrier. Yeah. And unless it crests that barrier.
Does some of your litter go to that purposes?
Some of Roswell Seeds litter went to that purpose. Imagine. We had to go for an alarm call, and I said, grab cat litter because our back porch is getting flooded.
Absolutely, yeah. To be honest, if you're a handy person, it's probably not a bad idea to keep a bag of litter.
No, and then if you have an oil spill or something like that, it absorbs it.
Yeah,
but
just keep one handy, even if you don't have cats. They're good to have around.
They are.
But and then of course, adoptions. How are we there?
We've been actually quite busy this past few weeks, minus Saturday's events and stuff. We've had a lot of people calling in, telling us about their missing animals. If you have photos of them, send them to us over our Facebook page.
We'll share and
so that way we can share them. We have over 6,000 followers, and they're going to get to see it too, and they can share it as well. Mm-hmm. Check with Roswell Animal Services. Check with us.
We've been sharing as much as we can from both you guys on some of that. I know Animal Services put up a post yesterday, I believe, about some of their situations.
Unfortunately, because of the recent events, ask if Animal Control has received a call to pick up a DOA animal.
Okay.
That means dead on arrival.
Yeah, and obviously with the flooding,
yes, they take it.
A flux of those right now.
So. They do write down the location that it's picked up, the description, if they have a call or a tag, and I do believe that they're supposed to scan it for a microchip prior to. A lot of animals have been lost because of the flood.
But at least you get closure at that one,
Right.
And so obviously it's not the outcome you're hoping for, but please, if you're and let's face it, now that we're days, the farther we're out from the event, the more likely you finding it gets decreases.
Yes.
It's no different. It's just facts. And but. Maybe that's at least you can find closure and say at least we know we can stop looking and move on. But yeah, that if you're not having luck, that might be an avenue you need to pursue.
And if you were affected by the storms, like flooding or any part of your household items that were damaged, go to the thrift store, talk to Camille. Explain so that way, she knows.
Sure.
Because unfortunately, people are going to try to loot on the situation. There were people looting out of houses that were being abandoned the morning after.
That is the unsavory side of what we're seeing here.
So if you've missed something, or lost something, come down, talk to us, and then that way If we get something donated and it's something you can use, we can
Be on the
contact
lookout
you,
for you
and
help out.
Try to help you out the best that we can.
Absolutely.
I know Dexter is still suffering quite hard there.
They could use help, and same kind of aid we do. I'm hearing reports that there's structures in Dexter, Hagerman too. Almost everyone has been impacted in some way, shape, or form by flooding or storms here. So.
And I know the city councilmen are forming like cleanup crews where people are volunteering to go help clean up. If you have some, even if it's an hour and you can go help, we need to come together as a community to help.
Social media has been a good thing. I've seen a lot of just private people or even like, Carrie Moore Health Council, and they say, hey, we need a crew of 5 over at this address, or people saying, yeah, I need some help at this address. Can you help out? Yeah, if you have the means and the time and the ability, please do that. That's how we get through this stuff. And that's the stuff. And that's how we overcome the other crap we were talking about. For every unsavory person taking advantage of it, we get 1 or 2 people doing the opposite. It's going to overcrowd that and flush that out. So please help your neighbors, help your friends the best you can. Get involved in any way that you're able to.
Yes.
And I get it. We're all in our own parts, but if you can help in one way, that's amazing. And you'll find that where you need help, you'll find your neighbors helping you too. So that's what we do here. Keep doing it. And the Humane Society is willing to help in any way, shape, that they can do.
Like I said, we're limited on what we can give away for foods or for food.
Sure.
But we will, offer whatever help we can. And if we don't have anything we can help you with, we will find out where to get you some help.
Absolutely. Put you with retouch with other resources, because we do have, other resources. A lot of churches in town are doing stuff. I know St. Andrews do a lot with their pet pantry
They
stuff.
do. I don't know.
Them,
I haven't got any updates if they're doing anything different right now, but I also have not gotten any updates if they were affected by it at all.
Sure.
Because they sit kind of close to that downtown area.
Sure. So they might be taking care of their own right now and helping their own parishioners.
But if you call the front office at the St. Andrews, just ask, is the pet pantry open? Yeah. What days? And that way, if you were affected by the flood, they might be able to do something a little bit different.
Or they might be taking donations themselves right now, too.
Yes.
Maybe you have maybe some things that, I'm at the store. I bought a couple bags of litter for the Humane Society and buy a couple more for the for St. Andrews.
Yes.
So that would be a good thing. But as far as adoptions, we are adopting. If you are now, remember, we're still in that Halloween window, which means all black and all white cats. They are still in quarantine until November here after the Halloween holiday. And that's for other reasons here, but we're in the middle of that still too.
Yes.
So just be note if you do. If you go to the Roswell Humane Society's website, which is roswellhumane.org, there, if you want to donate or see or get involved, you'll find links to do all that. But you can see every pet that is calling the Humane Society home right now. If they have not available on the picture next to it, that means they're in quarantine because of shots or weight, or they're black and all white right now or something like that. But you can still see them and read about them. And then when they come out of quarantine, you can call and ask too and say, hey, I saw little Tabby there and I love that cat. And, when's it going to be available? And then you'll give them all that information and stay abreast. And that, to be honest, that's a good indicator for your staff. When someone's checking in and want that means that they want that pet. There's a love, there's a desire to have that. And that's exactly what you guys are wanting, is people that want these pets to be a part of their family. So that's kind of a good indicator. It's like if you're caring that much, then we're pretty sure you're going to treat this pet the way that we hope you would treat it.
A lot of people ask if it says not available, if that means that they're in the process of adoption. No,
not at all.
So when we have an animal in the process of adoption, it stays on the website until we finalize the adoption.
And then it's gone.
And then we take it off the website, just because there are, instances where things happen and, something come up and they can't finish the adoption because personal reasons.
Sure.
So,
or something happened like a flood and then they said, well, now I don't have the ability to adopt.
Yes. So we leave them on there until they are officially adopted. When we have the contract signed, then we take them off. But the not available just basically means, like you said, quarantine time for vaccination purposes, medication, if they came in needing some treatment, or if they just don't weigh enough to go.
If they're puppies or kittens and they're just not mature enough to be out, then they're going to stay under the care of the Humane Society until they are of that age or that weight to do that.
Yes.
Yeah.
But you can call, you can ask. There's underneath each animal, it says ask about. You can email me and then I can tell you what we know about that animal.
Absolutely. So as far as animals and type, how the dogs, how the cats, what kind of numbers are you looking at right
So my cat room is not completely full, but that's because we went through a little bit of ringworm stage.
Okay.
So I had to put a halt on stuff coming in.
Sure. Again, health and safety is always priority one there.
Yes. So I don't have a plethora of cats. I have a lot of cats waiting to come in.
Okay.
That we'll start doing slowly now that, it's not spreading to nobody and it's isolated
Got
to just
everything
one.
handled, and
yes.
we're confident that they're not going to
But
get sick when they
dogs
come here.
are very over. We have dachshund puppy mixes, and they're going on 4 months old. We have 2 older Shih Tzu mixes. They're about 7 years old.
So good, some smaller dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Here. Okay.
We have a couple of Shih Tzu poodle mixes. A beautiful terrier. She's probably about that tall, that wide. She looks like Benji, but black and tan.
Okay.
We have a lot of shepherd mixes.
Okay,
and
so a few big ones too, and
do.
so if you like big dogs or little dogs or medium dogs, looks like you got a variety of all of them. It looks
We
like.
do.
So because your Benji dogs are more of a medium build. They're not.
So we have some small dogs, we have some medium, and we do have large.
Yeah.
So
and they're all looking for homes, and they're all. And I know times are crazy right now, but I know during this time of year, now that the weather's a little more cooperative, if you like to volunteer to hang out with the pets and things,
yes,
to get
and walk dogs.
Yeah,
this is the greatest time of the year.
Still doing all that right
because the weather is not too hot in the afternoon.
Yeah.
The park is still a little soggy.
Yeah, I was saying, it might be limited on your places to go right now.
So
but
the park is still a little bit soggy, but I think a couple more days of sunshine and it should be not so soggy and
more park-like again.
Yes. But we actually had a couple of younger kids come and say, hey, I'm out of school. Is there something we can do to help? So
nice.
It's nice to see the younger generation trying to step up and be a part of the community and help.
We love it. This is, it makes you feel like we're in good hands down the road when you see those kinds of moments there. So.
And we do.
But if you are, and this is like a perfect option. Maybe you live in an apartment and you're a dog lover, but you can't have a dog because you live in an apartment. This might scratch an itch a little bit. You come down, roll on the floor with the dogs and hang out or take them on a walk. And every time you're doing that with these animals, it makes them more people friendly, more, and actually kind of makes them a desirable pet that a family wants to take.
Because they've been exposed to a huge variety of people and showing them that, not everybody is stranger danger.
Exactly. Yeah. And then, hey, this is this dog work well with kids and everything. And it's really you being human with the dog and playing with the dog and doing all that stuff. And I always, and since we're talking this, I want to throw that caveat too. When you do come down to adopt a pet, please remember you are seeing them in probably their worst state. You're going to see them where they're stressed, depending on the barking and everything else. They're in an environment where you're not going to see their full personality.
Right. We had a lady that came through yesterday and she goes, they just all seem so excited and she goes, I don't want to say vicious. She goes, but kind of vicious. I said, so that's each one of them competing against each other to lure you to their kennel so you can look at them. I said, they're just trying to do it for attention.
Yeah, they're just trying to get it. And so you really, and that's usually what we do is once you find a pet, they'll take them. There's a room that you and the pets and the family can kind of meet and greet and kind of get to know each other a little bit away from the barking and all the other stuff going on. And so that's why if you do see a dog or whatever, and so if you do and you see that dog, I love that dog, but it looks so quiet in the corner, not doing anything. Get it in the other room and let it blossom for you a little bit. And just remember.
Pupper. Oh, and one of the other things that people always ask us, like what are things that we could use for donations?
Mm-hmm.
Kong dog toys.
Okay.
The pupperoni sticks, because we break them up and we stick them in like the enrichment toys.
Okay.
To get them to use their brain.
All right. So pupperonis are pretty popular.
Pupperonis are really popular, and then any of the hard Kong toys, because we get a lot of dogs that do get bored, and we try to fill them with stuff and freeze it and give it to them.
Most of these pets have nothing but time on their hands, and idle hands. That's the stir crazy. So you're actually helping with their mental health as much as anything else.
Anything, we try to refrain from any of the bone type things, just because
choking hazards.
We're not there in the nighttime and they're not that easy to sanitize.
Yeah.
So
to be honest, any of those white bones you see at the store, they're generally more harm than good for pets. I would steer clear of them anyway for your own personal pets. They're a much better healthier and safer options for you out there. But that being said, so if you do buy those, please, the Humane Society will not use those. They're not deemed appropriate for the pets.
No. So we just try to stick to like the pepperoni type things, the hard Kong toys that we can stick stuff in. So, when they're banging it around, they get a reward that knocks out of it. Yeah. Any enrichment toy like that, those are things that, we could really use to help with the shelter.
Absolutely. So please, that's a great way to help out if you want to donate here. And again, kitty litter is the big one right now. Again, cheap stuff, nothing fancy, nothing expensive. Yep. The stuff that literally comes on the pallet in those big boxes that look like something that concrete comes in or cement comes in, cement mix comes in. That's kind of what we're talking about. And then, of course, lots of pets available for adoption. Come on down to the thrift store. The sale's going on right now if you're in need. And like you said, if you do have some specific needs, please reach out. Let's see what the Humane Society can do to get that rectified for you. So.
We will do what we can to help, and, we want to try to get our community back.
Absolutely. RoswellHumane.org is the website, or come on down East 2nd, right next door.
East McGaffey.
I'm sorry. East McGaffey. Sorry, brain, top, mouth ahead of brain. East McGaffey, right next to Animal Control there. Come on by and check out the pets. And don't forget, Wednesday's New Stuff Day. So
and then
Thursday.
This Saturday, all Halloween 75% off, and the store is going to be half off this entire week.
Absolutely. And then gear up for Christmas right after that.
Yes.
Good deal. Well, thank you as always.
Thank you.
Glad you guys are doing good.
Yes.
And holler if you need anything. We'll see what we can do.
Thank you.
All right, 9:56. Let's take a quick break before they kick me off the radio. Don't go away.
There's nothing more magical than 80,000 cubic feet of hot air flying overhead, hearing the burners shoot propane and inflate the envelope of beautiful colors right before your eyes. Whether this is your family's lifelong tradition or you are new to Southeast New Mexico, make plans to join us for Balloons and Tunes at Eagle Draw Park at dawn on Saturday and Sunday morning, November 2nd and 3rd. Seeing the balloons is just the start, but join us to hear the tunes too. Artesia Chamber, Artesia Main Street, and Artesia Arts Council have partnered up to bring you a concert event Friday, November 1st that will surely get you in the mood for hot air balloons. Join us at the corner of 5th and Texas Street for Balloons, Bands, and Brews, where you'll enjoy food, New Mexico brews, and live music, including the Artesia High School Marching Band, playing along with our hot air balloon pilots. All events are weather permitting, and more information can be found at artesiachamber.com. Balloons and Tunes, November 2nd and 3rd in Artesia, New Mexico. Book hotels direct for the best rates. Ad paid for by Artesia Lodgers Tax.
Attention, Roswell and surrounding areas. Roswell Ford knows recovering from an unexpected natural disaster is stressful, and our hearts go out to everyone who experienced loss due to the flooding. The damage left behind is devastating, but we're already seeing what it means to be Roswell strong, and we acknowledge and appreciate the heroic efforts of local authorities, first responders, and National Guard rescue teams. We've already received and continue to receive special shipments of new Fords and quality pre-owned vehicles available for immediate delivery during our massive Super Tent Sale. It's at our temporary location on West 2nd Street between Toyota and Allsup's. These new and pre-owned vehicles without flood damage are being offered to the public at unprecedented savings. We've instructed our staff to take any car in any condition. In fact, even if it doesn't run, we'll come get it and give you a generous allowance toward a new Ford or high-quality pre-owned vehicle. And we'll work with your insurance company to help you get what you deserve at Roswell Ford's temporary location on West 2nd Street between Toyota and Allsup's. Thank you.
Late in the Apostle Paul's life, he wrote the following: "I've fought the good fight, I've finished the race, I've kept the faith. Now there is in store for me the crown of righteousness, which the Lord the righteous judge will award to me on that day, and not only to me, but to all who have longed for his appearing." That is the definition of dying well. Paul had not always been a follower of Christ, but once he changed his life from persecutor to that of a man who followed Jesus to being fully dedicated, he was all in. He knew that he was forgiven, and he knew that he had lived a life of service to his Lord. He wasn't perfect, but he knew that Jesus was, and that Christ's saving grace was more than enough. You too can have that same confidence to die well. You can never earn it, but Jesus wants you to have his free gift of forgiveness. He wants all of us to be with him in heaven.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
At Martine's Capital Cafe, come in and enjoy a delicious variety for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Try our burritos, huevos rancheros, asado, chorizo, sausage, flantas, fajitas, chili rellenos, quesadillas, enchiladas, sopapillas, and don't forget their award-winning green chili cheeseburger and so much more. Everything is prepared with the finest and freshest ingredients. Martine's Capital Cafe. Quality, value, tradition, and the most delicious New Mexican food since 1989. Open Monday through Saturday from 6 to 8:30 p.m. at 110 West 4th Street in Roswell.
Central Valley Electric is continually learning and advancing technology that improves electric service, reliability, and safety, and in turn enhancing the quality of life for members that we serve in our local communities. CVE offers an account management program called Smart Hub that allows members to track their usage, set up convenient pay methods, and the ability to manage their energy use with smart technologies. A secure system such as Smart Hub is an easy tool to use. To sign up, visit cvecoop.org and click Smart Hub to get started.
Or a little down, a little up. And then I make 35, 40 calls. Every one of them will win.
And Mr. Trump goes on to say also the next week and a half will be very critical. Also, at townhall.com, it is a no vote on the latest contract at Boeing. Here's Lisa Dwyer.
Boeing factory workers have voted to reject the company's latest contract offer and will continue a 6-week strike that has halted production of the aerospace giant's best-selling jetliners. Local union leaders in Seattle say the proposal fell short of the majority needed from members of the International Association of Machinists and Aerospace Workers who cast ballots. The offer included pay raises of 35% over 4 years. Boeing workers say a sticking point was the company's refusal to restore a traditional pension plan that was axed a decade ago. I'm Lisa Dwyer.
And more on these stories at townhall.com.
If you're driving a car or truck with an expired warranty and suddenly lost your transmission or needed a full engine repair, would a $4,000 repair bill leave you stranded? I'm Danica Patrick. Don't get caught off guard with a vehicle breakdown. Choose the company I trust, Endurance. No matter the mileage, if your vehicle is less than 20 years old, Endurance offers auto protection plans for any budget. Protection on the drivetrain, electrical, transmission, AC, and more. Plus 24/7 roadside assistance and rental car reimbursement on any plan. Endurance handles everything from making the claim to paying the certified mechanic of your choice. Act now and get 1 full year of elite benefits. A $2,000 value, free.
Endurance has paid hundreds of millions in claims. Call for your fast free quote today.
Call 800-298-9534. That's 800-298-9534. 800-298-9534.
Commonwealth heads of government are preparing to defy the United Kingdom and agree now plans to examine reparatory justice for the transatlantic slave trade.
The argument made by some countries, in this context disproportionately Caribbean countries that are members of the Commonwealth, that it is the duty of countries like the UK to firstly acknowledge with an apology, and then secondly to acknowledge with compensation. There's an irritation from some of those Caribbean countries that the UK's dismissal of their request and the tone of their dismissal has been particularly irritating. But I think it points to the fact that this issue is not going away. Those who make the argument think that its time has come and they're determined to carry on pressing the case.
BBC correspondent Chris Mason. Breaking news and analysis, townhall.com. Authorities in the Southwest finding a large cache of weapons at a home of a man who is suspected of shooting up a Democratic campaign office. We have the latest on that breaking story now from correspondent Ben Thomas.
Police in Tempe, Arizona have arrested a man in 3 shootings that damaged a Democratic National Committee office in suburban Phoenix. 60-year-old Jeffrey Michael Kelly is also accused of hanging political signs criticizing Democratic presidential nominee Kamala Harris that were lined with razor blades. The Maricopa County prosecutor says federal agents seized guns and over 250,000 rounds of ammunition from Kelly's home. Scopes, body armor, and silencers were also found, while a machine gun was discovered in the car he was driving. It's all leading law enforcement to believe he may have been planning a mass casualty event. I'm Ben Thomas.
And you'll find more on these stories at